years of empty claims, with hangars full of garbage and dreams that never came. Now he's fishing for new suckers to store more junk inside, while promising his gullible fans hover cars and free energy rides.
We are working on anti-gravity. As soon as we get financed, which again is coming very soon.
Divine insights were handed down, but now they cost a fee. In the wacky world of Wilcock, that's the way it's gotta be. Financial resets, debts erased, a world so fair and bright. The alliance never came, and neither did his wife. The wacky world of Wilcock, where make-believe is real. It's the wacky world of Wilcock, where make-believe is real. Just buy my course, $300. Enlightenment's the deal. In the wacky world of Wilcock, where make-believe is real. Extraterrestrial pals, they're coming here to stay. Disclosure's always just around, but aliens delay. Law of one, the Bible, Bhagavad Gita, all mixed up in one. David's stealing from the best, but his fans think it's a brand new one. Plagiarizing profit, that's his favorite routine. In the wacky world of Wilcock, where nonsense reigns supreme, we'll all get rainbow bodies, whatever that might mean. And Jesus is an alien, the wildest thing you've seen. David's on a hero's journey through dimensions far and wide. Draco reptilians know where he lives, so in his mansion he must hide. Catastrophes and end times were on the brink, he said, but my coffee's brewing nicely, and I'm still in my bed. The wacky world of Wilcock, where make-believe is real. It's the wacky world of Wilcock, where make-believe is real. Just buy my course, $300. Enlightenment's the deal. In the wacky world of Wilcock, where make-believe is real. No one's suffering like David in his mansion grand and tall, with bison, steak, and chicken. He's the loneliest of all. His teeth are fake as his prophecies, and courses that he sells. In the wacky world of Wilcock, he's ringing all the bells.
If we bathe in our own urine, we can gain superpowers. What do we do? Doing the bath does help. Or you urinate before you get into the bathtub, and then you drink new water out of a glass, and when you're in the bathtub, you can do a little more.
Buy my course, $300. Enlightenment's the deal. In the wacky world of Wilcock, where make-believe is real. His PowerPoint slides are packed with schizophrenic rants, forced to stream on YouTube now. Bankruptcy's a stance. Stavati Aerospace, a Ponzi scheme they say. So pay pigs better pay up, or like Corey Good he'll stay. So many dates, so many dreams, none of them come true. But hey, don't fret, just buy the course and I'll enlighten you.
For God's sake, take the deal, okay? But you have to take the deal and you have to cooperate. Rise, rise, rise. And you feel yourself, kinetic energy of levitation, tingling across your skin.
In 2012, we'd all ascend, a cosmic shift was due. But here we are in 24, and nothing much is new. Mass arrests and cabo busts, beliefs should quake in fear, yet they're still here, sipping wine, and we're all stuck right here. In a world of Greer and Good, Crush and Lou, with their claims nobody tops David Wilcock, with his fringe and wacky games, while they're sharing UFOs and theories kinda tame. David's got aliens who wanna sleep with him and eat him, what a shame. He's the master of the bizarre, with rainbow bodies on display. In the wacky world of Wilcock, where nonsense leads the way. So here's to Dave, the shyster bold, the tale so far-fetched and grand. In his world of make-believe, where fantasy's second-hand, he spins his fairy tales and lies between his YouTube streams for his cat crystal ladies who gobble up his dreams.
I am calling upon the new mind. I am asking you to think differently. I am asking you to look at what's happening in the world right now as a brief blip in your multidimensional evolution, which will go on for millions and millions of years. This time that you're living in right now is the time that you're going to have the old man stories. When I was your age, I remember how they had COVID-19. And during those years, they lied to us. The government was full of people who wouldn't tell the truth. And they made up all kinds of stories. And I was there, or in the beginning, I was right there. You're going to have old man stories, and they're going to be awesome. I think it's like an egg cycle, mate. The extraterrestrials, mate, they come on down. And they get all in here, and they cover your egg with energy. So that when you make the sound of the egg cracking, you hear an extraterrestrial squeaky voice, and they make this egg circle. And you've got to make sure that it's got the right ingredients to qualify it as something that is necessary for breakfast. This is a coated sesame oil, of course. Very, very enigmatic formation. Living in the sands of time, reaching through history. And we loosen it. Let's see if it's got any playability here. It's almost like a monster. It frightens me that eating it will make me feel that I've regained my alpha dominance. It was very amusing, potentially unpleasant situation. G'day, mate. This is Colin the Geezer, and I'm with you again. And I got another amazing formation. I think this time it's lasers. I think the extraterrestrials wanted to stray laser beams into me hot tub here so that we get Puma Punku type of formations. If you notice this, it's remarkably well preserved. And it's only possible by extraterrestrial intervention. Some of heavy-duty laser beams fired down upon to create this very, very exciting spectacle. Once again, folks, they're just going to have a really hard time with being sexual, which has also been my case. As I said last weekend, I don't want to go in all the detail because it's traumatic, but my relationships have not really been physical. Most of the time, it's just a short amount of time, and then I start to have difficulty. And it doesn't make it, fun to have a relationship, because I just got overwhelmed. I mean, with my first girlfriend, the first time I made out with my first girlfriend in college, she was Japanese. I started to feel sick, and I was very much in love with her. I thought she was beautiful. My heart was open to her, but as soon as I started getting physical, I felt like I was going to throw up. I had a very, very hard time with the whole process, and that has unfortunately been consistent. I have to feel very safe. I have to feel very stable. I can't just do it. It's got to be like it's got to all be right, and I hope that I've healed enough from this that in the future it'll be different, but that's the way it's always been. And it's probably why people didn't stick around either. I mean, in the course of doing this work for you and for the Alliance, I get hit really, really hard. We have one guy who is basically attacking me full time. We have a team of 8 people now that we pay almost $2,000 a month, and I'm happy to do it. But if it wasn't for this one guy, we probably wouldn't even need them. But we will keep them in place afterwards. But I think there's going to be a lot less to do once we bring him to justice. We are going to be suing this guy. His name is Stephen. It's not Stephen Greer. It's not Stephen Tyler. Unfortunately, the name Stephen used to be a positive. And what happened is, When I checked my bank account Wednesday morning, someone had tried to steal $4,000 from me. We have very strong, compelling reasons to believe that this is the work of Stephen once again, and I will tell you why. And I specifically had my dreams tell me I need to talk about this. I have decided I will not remain silent in the face of ongoing criminality. I checked my bank account on Wednesday, and it was freakishly low. I'm like, what the hell is going on? And I saw 7 different transactions that were all trying to post from what it said on the statement. I'll show it to you. Was Internap Holding Atlanta, Georgia. Notice the spelling. Atlanta is spelled incorrectly as Atlanta. What the hell is Internap Holding? Well, obviously a legitimate business would not misspell Atlanta. They would catch that and they would spell it properly. So if you want to look at this, I have a Chase bank account. This is what I saw. It freaked me out. It was horrific. They are stealing your money. They are stealing your donations, the love that you give me to try to keep this show on the air. The first one is 1207, 1,207.76, 1,205.32. Somebody tried to do this all in one day. Charge all this stuff to my account in one day. 1,046.03. And then we had 2 of them that are almost $200. 195.49, 193.67. Internap Holding. Who the hell is that? Then we had another one for 127.20. And then another pattern is the $9.60. $4,000 getting ready to drop out of my account. And I ask you this question, how would you feel if this happened to you? Well, I can tell you that it was horrific. And so I got on the phone. I called Chase Fraud Prevention right away. And I was on the phone with him for 45 minutes while I was building these slides, as I knew I was going to have to do the show on Saturday because I'm being attacked with wind. And now my bank account is being attacked. By the way, I never got the notification you're supposed to get. Oh, your credit card has been compromised. It's in database. There was no database. So I hardly ever use this card on anything. So how did anybody get my card number? It suggests, again, the DS, as an inside job, leaked it to the person they've probably been paying to come after me. And now that the U.S., as I was calling it last week, the Z funding, and the rest of it is aid, right? You know what I'm talking about. Now that's been cut off. Maybe he doesn't have the money that he used to have, so he got more desperate. That's one of the reasons why I think it's him, and there's other reasons as well. So again, how would you feel if you wake up one morning and you're missing $4,000 in your available balance, but it's all listed as pending? So I got on the phone. I was on the phone for 45 minutes. They tell me, no, we can only seize it from when the theft first started. And during the time I was on the phone, she went back and found that this has been happening about $1,300 a month, every month except for October, since August. So August, September, November, December, January, I was losing $1,300 a month, and I wasn't paying enough attention. I definitely will be now. I'm going to be watching my account probably every day, looking at the transactions, because what the whole game is, you got to catch this stuff. And that's the way it is with Stephen, too. You got to catch him. I've had to hire 8 people to stop him from doing this stuff. He is an expert hacker. And if you haven't already heard this, nobody's ever heard of anything like this before. He says that he's a critic. He says I'm a grifter, a con artist. How ironic that he's actually stealing your donation money. Part of why I think it's him is that he harassed and threatened the CEO of Svati Aerospace, Chris Beskar, left incriminating voicemails that we are keeping for our legal evidence on the exact same day that this $4,000 grift was attempted. So we do have his threatening voicemail. We're going to be using that in our lawsuit against him. He's scrambling to try to steal my money. We don't have any evidence he's been stealing money out of Stavati, but somehow he got my card, which I hardly ever use. And the last time that he called and threatened Chris was on a Friday. And so Friday morning, we got an email allegedly from India threatening us with bombs and explosives, saying we're going to die. He said, I want to kill David Wilcock. I want to blow him up. I forget exactly the wording, but it said, I want to kill David Wilcock. Allegedly from India, out of nowhere. We never heard of this guy before. And he's talking about Corey Good. I haven't done the show with Corey Good since 2018. Nobody talks about that anymore except for him. So on that morning of Friday, he says, I want to kill David Wilcock and Corey Good. And he's all pissed off at us. Wait a minute. The show's like 7 years old. Where have you been? Who is this guy? Is it really India? No, he's just pretending to be, because again, he's a hacker. So that's how it started. And then on Saturday, Stivati got an email claiming to be from Russia, saying that we were selling military procs to Ukraine, which we were not. And then saying that Russia was going to blow us up with explosives, the same threat as the day before from India, allegedly from India. Says he's going to blow us up with explosives unless we pay him in cryptocurrency. So he was actually trying to extort money on a Saturday. And so Friday we have an explosive threat from India. Saturday we have an explosive death threat from Russia, which supposedly from Russia. Again, these are supposedly. And he's saying, oh, well, you have to pay me money, so I'll give you the names of the people who are going to do this so that you can bring them justice. No, we're not going for that. In the middle of this 24-hour period between these two threats, Stephen called our CEO off of his own phone number. He disguised his name, but it was the same phone number. And again, threatened us. So now, here we go. We've got $4,000 being stolen out of my account by a hacker, somebody who hacked my credit card. And then Stephen calls Chris the same day and leaves threatening messages. So you see the formula. The death threat happened in the morning on Friday. He stalked him that same afternoon, and then he made the terror and extortion on Saturday. And again, he wanted to take money from us, which now makes me realize, oh, he's been doing this since August. He was already stealing money and he wanted more. It's been going on since last August. I was getting hit, as I said, every month for about $1,300. I didn't catch it, but I always kept running out of money. And again, it's this clever thing where they experiment with $10, $200, $1,200 to see, will it get approved, will it go through? And then they keep doing it every month so that it looks like you are on some kind of a payment plan. So the bank didn't catch this, unfortunately, because again, it's below the level where it would really ping the ultimate fraud attacks. So again, there was 3 tranches above 1,000, around 200, and around 10, as I already showed you. So I was shocked when this happened. And in the bathtub, I said, who's doing this? And I just kept getting Stephen. So I never had any indication that my card was stolen or in a hacked database, which leads me to wonder, is somebody leaking these card numbers as an inside job? So part of why I'm telling you this is I'm warning all of the Patriot influencers out there. This is bare knuckle boxing, okay? There's no holds barred. So what I think is happening is that the DS is now leaking credit card numbers of influencers to their paid trolls. The paid trolls get to keep any money they steal. It's part of their salary. But they're getting this inside intel that they wouldn't otherwise have. Because again, I'm very careful. The only way you can prevent this, just like how we have a customer service team, and anytime that I make a X post, I have to let them know in advance that I'm doing it. We catch the stuff that he does within, seconds usually. But he works very hard. He creates 4 or 5 fake identities. He says that I'm a grifter and a con artist and a fraud and I'm a disgusting and vile human being. And I have to look at this stuff. I photograph it all for legal evidence. One of the problems we have is we just have so much incriminating evidence, but now we've got terrorism, death threats, extortion, and grand theft. So all Patriot influencers, if it's happening to me, my guess is it's happening to you. You need to begin checking your bank statement all the time. In fact, I'm probably going to have to hire someone as time goes on just to watch my account pretty much every day and look for anything suspicious. Otherwise, I'm going to be doing this myself pretty much almost every day now. I'm just going to have to check it fanatically because you can get the money back as long as you catch it within 30 days. So the way the negative works is it only can do this if you're not paying attention. Also, I want to make this very clear. Whoever is doing this, it might not be him, but I highly suspect it is. Anybody that tries to steal my money or make death threats or terrorism, we will aggressively prosecute you. We will sue you and you will be in prison. Terrorism can go, for a very long term, in prison, 16 plus years. So obviously I've had to change all my credit cards. And then ironically, I had the new cards in the mail on Friday and I lost my mailbox key. That's the negative working. You get these negative readings. So what's another reason why I think that it's him and not somebody else? If it was a typical person stealing numbers from a database, they wouldn't actually watch this 5-hour show a week. But he knew that I had just taken out a business loan. Normal thief would not be watching the show. But yet, if somebody was watching the show, then they would know, okay, now I'm going to try to get $4,000 instead of $1,300. So I know I've been talking about this. What do you guys think? How did your bank let it happen? Says Jenny Jean Razzle. My bank calls me if more than $500 is spent, but I have a small town credit union.
Oh yeah, look at that. Very good. 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 I'm David Wilcock. I'm David Wilcock. I'm David Wilcock. Cock, cock, cock. Wow. 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 Extraterrestrials, angels, angels, suck. Extraterrestrials, angels, angels, suck. Extraterrestrials, angels, angels, suck. Extraterrestrials, angels, angels, suck. Wilcock. 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 It's here, it's here, it's here, it's here, it's here, it's here. Cock. It's here, it's here, it's here, it's here, it's here, it's here, it's here. Cock. It's here, it's here, it's here, it's here, it's here, it's here, it's here. Cock. It's here, it's here, it's here, it's here, it's here, it's here, it's here. Cock. It's here. Extraterrestrials, angels, angels, suck. Extraterrestrials, angels, angels, suck. Extraterrestrials, angels, angels, suck. Extraterrestrials, angels, angels, suck. Woo! 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 Cock. 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 I'm David Wilcock.
Greetings and salutations, friends, and welcome back. Tonight we are digging deep once again into the wacky world of Wilcock. And I just want to take a moment to thank H-Bomb, who is responsible for those wonderful David Wilcock clips. He was doing something similar with Darkside Phil, so we have entrusted him with making David Wilcock even gayer than he usually is. And I don't have it right at the moment, but I will get it. His YouTube channel is very underloved. And so we would like it if you could support him by going and subbing to his channel. I'm just going to put it in the live chat. And the guy needs a few hundred lousy more subscribers to be monetized. He's made a great deal of 112 videos for free, essentially. I think that he should be monetized. He's got, 631 subscribers. He needs just a few hundred more subscribers, so I'd appreciate it. He's supporting my show. I'd like to support his efforts. I would appreciate it if you go over there. And also, pinned in the live chat is our new True Seekers Clips channel. I don't want to get negative, but for years and years, people kept begging me to start a Clips channel. And then we did, and only a few hundred people have actually subscribed. We need to get that monetized as well. H-Bomb has a much better, he's much closer. So please go and subscribe to both those channels because it really, really does help. I wanted to take a moment before we begin on the clips because I have been thinking that David Wilcock is basically running a cult. And the reason I think that is there are some common traits of cults. Um, and it's important that we realize that David Wilcock continually making these false allegations about me is very, very dangerous. I'm certainly not afraid of David Wilcock, but you never know how unhinged and like literal there's lunatics that listen to him. And he, for what, 6 months now, I don't know, since June or July, has been making an incredible amount of completely and totally false accusations about me, to the point where there are some lunatics on Twitter. I've showed you the screenshots that are saying that I killed 1.3 million people or something because I make videos exposing David Wilcock. And how dare I do that? I'm interrupting his peace meditations. And because of my, uh, you know, because of making videos about David Wilcock, 1.3 million people died, and I'm a murdering psychopath. And, this got me to thinking that David Wilcock, it's getting very culty. And I demand that you retract all these false allegations about me. Because if one of your lunatic, unhinged followers tries to hurt me or, God forbid, a member of my family, I will hold you directly responsible. You can't have an audience full of a bunch of psychopathic lunatics and morons and keep making me this false supervillain over and over again every week for months and months and months. Do you think that maybe one of your unhinged lunatic followers might take some actions to stop this evil Steve Cambion that's doing all these things to you? And by the way, I'm not doing anything to him except reporting on the truth behind his lies, reporting on the truth behind his shady fake aerospace company, Stavati Aerospace. And by the way, when he was accusing me of stealing all of this money from his bank account, he said that I called and threatened Stavati, but it was a different name. And we've got new information now. We know who called them. It was a reporter from New York who was working on a story about Stavati Aerospace. A real reporter, David Wilcock, called Stavati and asked questions. That is what David Wilcock says is a threat or is terrorism. A reporter, by the way, not this reporter, another reporter. And by the way, Wilcock, that news story is coming out soon, and it will essentially confirm that all of my reporting about Stavati Aerospace has been entirely accurate, because we have the receipts, we have the court documents, we have all the court documents of the people suing Stavati, we have all the court documents of the investors suing Stavati. And by the way, David Wilcock, you lied when you said that the investor suing you was going to settle the case and give you a written apology. That's not the case, and I know that for a fact, so you better retract that statement as well. At some point, you just got to shake your head and say, how many false accusations is David Wilcock going to levy against me with absolutely no evidence? Because let's review. So far, he has told 500,000 people that I'm a Satan worshiper, and his only evidence for that is that I wore a devil mask for a comedic skit here on our show called UFO Lucifer. Yeah, I wore a devil mask. That's not proof that I'm a Satan worshiper, you lunatic moron idiot. And he claimed that I tried to extort money out of him. And interestingly, the extorter wanted cryptocurrency. I don't own any crypto. I don't have a crypto wallet. I think it's basically monopoly money. I don't trust it. I don't have a crypto wallet. Why would I extort money from David Wilcock and then choose to be paid in a payment form I can't even accept? Your lies are so easily proven lies, David Wilcock. Your entire world is lies. He's accused me of being a terrorist. He's accused me of issuing death threats against him. He's accused me of going on some sort of campaign of stalking and harassment against him that's so bad he has to hire 8 people. But The truth is David Wilcock has to hire 8 people to delete mean tweets and mean comments. And we'll circle back to the cult-like aspect of this. So he's accused me of stalking and harassing because people mean tweet him. He is blaming me for every mean tweet, every mean comment. And remember, originally he said he only has this one critic, Steven. Well, we've brought a few critics on our show as guests. That proves that you're factually inaccurate and you're lying to 500,000 people. David Wilcock, how many times are you going to lie to 500,000 people? I'd love to know. How many times are you going to lie to 500,000 people? It's absolutely ridiculous that this man is allowed to just go on YouTube, claim I'm a Satan worshiper, a child predator, a stalker, a harasser, a terrorist, an extortionist, and now I'm a thief stealing $4,000 out of his bank account. It's absolutely ridiculous that YouTube allows it. And I'm here to tell you, David Wilcock, if you don't take every one of those videos down where you made false accusations against me, I'm not coming after you. I'm going to YouTube, and I will plead my case to YouTube, and those are community guideline strikes, you moron. The only income you have left is YouTube. What happens if you lose all of your only income source, David Wilcock? That's what kind of moron you are. And not only that, you moron, if we can't get you for these slanderous false allegations that you continually make about me, if YouTube's not interested in that, I'm sure that YouTube may be interested in you continually giving people completely and totally fake medical advice. You're not a doctor. You're a moron. How many times have you told people to eat horse medication on your live streams? Each time you did that is a community guideline strike. You moron. 3 strikes and you're out, David. Did you talk about telling people to eat veterinary medicine 3 times? I've got the clips. You may want to delete those videos too. And while you're at it, again, I'm publicly demanding that you either issue a retraction admitting that you have no evidence that I've stalked you, harassed you, threatened you, intimidated you, terrorized you, extorted money from you, or stole money from your bank account, or this is going to be a real problem for you. Remember I said no more mercy. I have stopped myself short. I don't want to affect somebody's YouTube channel. It's kind of an unwritten rule. But at this point, I'm going to do, David Wilcock, whatever I have to do to stop you from lying about me to 500,000 people. And that is up to and including legal action. I can send legal letters to YouTube detailing your slander and your deceitful, just telling people that I got you swatted alone. That's a community guideline strike. You knowingly lied to your audience of 500,000 people. You knowingly falsely accused me of heinous things like getting you swatted. I can give YouTube all the evidence. You weren't swatted, and I didn't report you to animal control. So David Wilcock has a decision to make. Do you want to keep your YouTube channel and keep convincing morons to send you a couple $1,000s a month? Or do you want to be begging for PayPal donations on BitChute or Rumble, you loser? Let's take a moment to thank some kind and generous people. We have a goal tonight of 50 super chats of 5 or more. I say a lot of stuff hearing the call of the goal. This is Steve. I hacked this account and super chat it myself. Of course, I'm a master hacker. I say lots of stuff. I'm a master hacker. Thank you. Dawn Wanderer, where is the box of dildos, Wilcock? There is still time to tap into your special powers or contact your alien friends for help. TikTok, Wilcock. Yeah. And that is the thing. For those unaware, David Wilcock for several years now has been saying that the Archangel Michael told him that by May of 2025, we would have ascension and also open contact with angelic extraterrestrials. So that's a problem for David Wilcock because this is why he's getting so desperate. And thank you, Don Wanderer, for pointing out that on May 31st, we will reveal the box of dildos. And I'm sure people are a little confused. A few years ago, I challenged David Wilcock with all of his secret space friends and alien technology and secret space program insiders and government insiders and psychic powers to find a huge box of dills that I buried for him. And I said that if he could find that box with all of his psychic powers, I would give him $10,000. He still hasn't found the box. And on May 31st, when his current grift ends, because he can't keep grifting on this angel stuff, David Wilcock, you've been saying for years now, right? That we're going to have open extraterrestrial contact with the angelic extraterrestrials by May of 2025. We're going to have ascension by May of 2025. When nothing happens by my birthday, just so happens this year, for my birthday, I get to watch David Wilcock's latest grift come crashing, smashing down. And what are you going to do then, David? I believe he's going to do what he always does. He's going to do the Cosmic Con shuffle. He's going to shuffle away. Hope everybody forgets that he predicted all that stuff and the angel made completely false predictions, proving it's not an angel because angels don't lie in prophecies, David Wilcock, but grifters do. His whole grift is coming crashing down by May 31st, and I'm here for it. He's only got 86 more days to convince his stupid moron followers to send him money until even those morons are going to know that he's been lying about all this angel nonsense. Pentaxenstein with 10. He should really listen. What happens to one happens to all. An attack on one of us is an attack on all of us. My words, not Stevens. Yeah, thank you, Pentaxenstein, and thank you for the kindness, generosity, and support. Big supporter, Pentaxenstein. Okay, but what if the prediction comes true? Well, David Wilcock has a track record that is horrifically horrible. None of his predictions ever come true. Just a quick rundown. Leading up to the year 2000, he promised us that ascension would happen when the year 2000 hit, and we'd all get superpowers and rainbow light bodies. And then nothing happened. And then he deleted his website because he knew that he screwed up. He gave a hard date. The date came and went. Nothing happened. Then he pulled the same scam again leading up to the year 2012, saying we'd all get superpowers with telekinesis, and we would be able to levitate, and we would be able to telepathically communicate with each other. And this amazing new age of ascension was going to happen in 2012, and then nothing happened. None of that happened. So this is just a repeat of failed predictions from his past. A real prophet wouldn't fail in prophecies and then pull out the same prophecies years later and change the date, Uncle Andy. That's not how that works. Stormcrow is laughing at rainbow light bodies. Yeah, and I'm laughing too. Yeah, praise the cash, bitches. Well, let's get some cash praising going. Don't make me pull out Darkside Phil tactics. And by the way, if we hit the goal tonight, we're going to be checking in with Darkside Phil and Triple P Ashton. I thought Ashton was on vacation, but apparently Darkside Phil is so broke that he's making Ashton from Keno Casino work with him tonight so that he could get at least some money this week. Because, you know, Ashton actually has talent, so people super chat because he's fun and funny and entertaining. And Darkside Phil just sits next to him like a moron, you know, but at least they'll get some super chats. He knows, Darkside Phil knows if he puts Ashton to work, he'll get at least some money tonight because apparently that boss bitch streamer girl is taking a lot of Darkside Phil's money, and I am laughing about it. Yeah. How many days until May 31st? So just a warning for David Wilcock. This is great. David Wilcock, you only have 85 more days of grifting before your current grift comes crashing down. And you remember me, David Wilcock. I am the destroyer of some of your previous grifts, like your grift with Corey Good. A lot of people contributed to ripping that grift to shreds. But I am very fortunate in that I got the kill shot. I am the first person to get and publish those depositions, which proved that you and Corey Good lied to everybody with fake stories for years and years and years. Then you, David Wilcock, moved on to this. I'm talking to angels grift. And I have secret, sacred knowledge that the Archangel Michael wants me to put behind a $333 paywall. Because that's what an angel would do. An angel would give you secret, sacred knowledge and then say, you know what, don't give this free to educate all of humanity, David Wilcock. Put it behind a $333 paywall, because that makes complete and total sense. And by the way, we've talked about this ad nauseum. He's not talking to angels, because if an angel is wrong in their predictions even once, that's not an angelic or divine source. It's likely demonic. At least that's what theologians have told me, and that I truly believe. Yes. CSK says, I am become Steve, the destroyer of grifts. Yeah, he will move the goalposts like they all do. Yeah, well, tick-tock, David Wilcock, motherfucker. You only got 85 more days on this grift. Then you're going to have to come up with a new grift, because everybody's going to know when none of that shit you said would happen by May of 2025 happens. Everybody's going to know that you lied to everybody again and stole money from stupid morons again. And no matter how stupid you think David Wilcock's followers are, they're even dumber than that. They are truly moronic. They are truly mentally deficient. They are truly, truly worthy of sympathy, because only an idiot or a moron would believe anything that a guy says after he starts saying that an angel told him to take baths in his own piss to get superpowers, and then he did it, and then he got superpowers, and then he may have saved Donald Trump from that assassin's bullet with his telekinetic superpowers, Matrix style. He moved the bullet out of the way. He astrally projected himself through a dream there and moved the bullet. Oh, well, thank you. MD Dispatch says, Steve buried DSP worse than any YouTuber ever has in my 15 years of being online. Well, thank you very much. I'll take that as a compliment. And we're not done burying grifters. In fact, we're just getting started. Wilcock has dents, dude. Yes, he does. He has, Tarantino must have quit Wilcock. I don't know. I haven't seen her in the live chat, right? Maybe we should get her on the show. We'd like those damaged disciples. Yeah, that could be true. Theologians slander anybody who changes their book. Nothing to see here. Well, yeah, but all three major religions, Abrahamic religions anyway, Islam, Judaism, and Christianity, all agree that angels wouldn't do something with a human for profit, and that angels wouldn't lie to you. And we know that the prophecies from this angel have already been wrong, because in the first book that he put out, the angel said that Corey Good's information was entirely accurate. And we know that Corey Good just made up his information. ML is here with 5. Hearing the call of the goal. When are you doing a show with the boys from Hidden in Plain Sight? Fanny Show, Maz, Jack, I don't know what that is. That is on March 15th, the Ides of March. We will be doing a special show with the boys from Hidden in Plain Sight. I keep forgetting. I got to start tweeting that every day. Thanks for the reminder. I'm going to set a bunch of timed tweets so that we promote that properly, and hopefully they do. All right, so 85 more days are left, and I just wanted to put some things on the record. Here, we'll share this tab. This is some common traits of cults, and what we know is that David Wilcock and his group of followers is matching and exhibiting some common traits of cults. Cults often have authoritative control, charismatic leaders. I won't consider David Wilcock very charismatic, and isolationist practices. What are isolationist practices? Well, David Wilcock isolates his followers from people who are skeptical. And he does that by spending $2,000 a month to have an entire team of people sanitize and delete any comment that is critical of him, any comment asking questions or pointing out logic and facts that would lead most rational people to believe that he's a lying, grifting scumbag. Cults control the flow of information. Authoritarianism. Cults have absolute authoritarianism without accountability. David Wilcock is running around calling people Satan-worshipping child predators, terrorists, extortionists, stalkers, harassers, and thieves, and terrorists. And he's had no accountability. His followers aren't holding him accountable for making all those false accusations. They can't. They're not allowed. You're not allowed to question your leader when you're in a cult. Cults have zero tolerance for questions or criticism. I'm going to read that again. Cults have zero tolerance for questions or criticism. Cults have leaders who dictate how members should think, act, and feel. You notice how he's manipulating his followers into believing that I'm some James Bond level supervillain and cyber hacker that is doing all of these things to him? He's telling his followers how they should think about me, how they should act towards me, and that's where it becomes problematic. Because all it's going to take is one unhinged lunatic follower of David Wilcock to decide that they're going to do something about this supervillain he invented. And by the way, that would be an extremely bad idea. I'm a really, really big Second Amendment guy. We'll leave it at that. Cults have leaders who dictate, like I said, how members should think, act, and feel. He's telling his followers, you should hate this guy, Stephen. He's an evil Satan worshiper. He's a child predator. He's a stalker and a harasser and a terrorist and an extortionist and a thief. You should hate this guy. What do you think's going to happen when you keep doing that to 500,000 followers? All it takes is one lunatic in your following, David Wilcock, and I'm pretty sure that David Wilcock has more than one lunatic follower, right? Next, charismatic leaders. Cults have charismatic leaders who are seen as the ultimate authority. Next, cults have leaders who claim to have unique spiritual insight or prophetic powers. I'm going to read that again. Cults have leaders who claim to have unique spiritual insight or prophetic powers. Next, cults have leaders who have exceptional personal qualities and a strong appeal to followers. His followers are morons. They love him no matter how wacky the shit he says is, no matter how all of his prophecies fail, they still love him because it's a cult, friends. Isolation. Cults isolate members from friends and family. Well, I don't know about that one. Cults punish members who doubt or question the leader. If you go into David Wilcock's chat and you ask a question he doesn't like, you get banned for life. He's punishing people who doubt or question him, the leader of the cult. Cults require inordinate sacrifices and money from followers. David Wilcock has said he only makes $258,000 a year from YouTube, and it's really not enough. He requires inordinate sacrifices and money from his moronic, idiotic, dumb as dirt, dumb as rocks followers. Other traits. Cults have extreme and unusual beliefs. Maybe like taking baths and piss can get you superpowers because an angel told us that. That could be considered an unusual belief. Next, cults have polarized us versus them mentality. He constantly claims he's under all of this danger. He's in danger for making YouTube videos talking about nonsense for years. Yeah, he's in danger. He's under deep state attack. Even the CIA is employing weather weapons against him because the wind blew too loudly near his house. The CIA is after him with weather weapons. Polarized, friends. Us versus them mentality. Cults have mind-altering practices that suppress doubts. Well, David Wilcock for sure uses some NLP or neuro-linguistic programming in his speeches. So he's trying to essentially hypnotize morons. And maybe he's very effective at hypnotizing morons because morons keep sending him money. Cults have unreasonable fears about the outside world. What did I just say? The wind was blowing loudly outside of David Wilcock's house. He turned that into a deep state attack with weather weapons against him. Unreasonable fears about the outside world. An animal control officer knocked on his door and he wasn't home, didn't answer the door, so she put a card on his door. He turned that into a swatting event that never ever happened. In other words, he's schizo. He's paranoid. Just like what it says here. Cults have unreasonable fears about the outside world. Cults have a belief that former followers are always wrong for leaving. Well, I haven't seen him really get into that one too much. But how many of these common traits of cults apply directly to David Wilcock and his dumb as dirt followers? A lot of them. A lot of them. And also, I just want to put another thing on the record because this is important. Why does it always do that? This is important. Cults always control the flow of information. Do you know, if you're a member of Scientology, you're not allowed to read anything about Scientology on the internet. You're not allowed to watch a Scientology documentary because those are from suppressive people. David Wilcock is employing the very same tactics that the cult of Scientology employs. He has got a team of 8 people to keep his dumb as rocks moron followers from hearing anything critical about him. Only a cult would need to hide every negative comment, every negative question, every skeptical inquiry, every skeptical question from all of his feeds. Why does he need to employ 8 people to sanitize? Go look at his videos. There's not one critical comment, not one, unless one of his idiots that are working for him missed it. Only a cult would do that. Only a cult would say, we can't let the people sending us money and that are a part of my cult following here hear from people like Stephen Cambion, hear from people like Hidden in Plain Sight, hear from people like John Christian Spadavacci or Mercario Mend or Osiris or any of these other people that are asking critical questions. And this also proves that David Wilcock's so-called information is so piss poor, it can't withstand any questions. It can't withstand any debate. And he has to pay $2,000 a month to a team of morons that he hires or claims to delete every single negative comment, every question he doesn't like, every critical comment he doesn't like. He has to delete all of it. He can't let his followers see any of that. That, my friends, is a cult. A cult would do that. Normal people don't do this. Normal people don't do this. I don't sanitize the comments here on my YouTube channel. I don't generally sanitize anything on my Twitter threads or you can tweet anything at me. You can leave any comment you like because I don't run a cult. I'm a journalist, David Wilcock. You run a cult. And the evidence that you run a cult is easy to see to anybody that is familiar with cult-like tactics and the common traits of cults. You're hitting so many of those common traits of cults. Why don't you grow a set of balls and let people debate, David Wilcock? Debate your information. If it's so good and it's so prophetic and so accurate, why don't you grow a set of balls and let people ask critical questions? Let people be skeptical or let people question things that you've done, things that you've said. It's because you're a coward with no balls. This man has no balls. It's true. This man has no balls, friends. No balls. Dawn with £5 saying, we are Steven. Yes, indeed. Kinotech USA, great user ID. David Wilcock is so far beyond parody. It's hard to believe he's real, much less a millionaire from this goofy nonsense. I agree with you 100%. And you know, one of the things that keeps me interested, Kinotech, is that every time I think it can't get any more bizarre, it can't get any wackier, it can't get any stupider, it does. You know, just a few weeks before he started accusing me of all of these things, I said, it can't get any crazier. And then he starts accusing me of stealing money from his bank account and being an expert cyber hacker. It is bizarro. It is crazy. And thank you very much for your kindness, generosity, and support. Much appreciated. Big ups, Kino Tech USA. Mac N. David should shave his balding head and say it was because his powers were too strong, like he's Professor X. That's a good idea. You're giving him material. Yeah. His brain waves were so strong it fried his hair. That's what's happening. It's not that he's going bald, Mac N. You got a great, man, this is a great plot twist here. He can say that his telepathic superpowers are so strong and his brain waves are so strong that it fried the hair right off of his head, right? Fried the hair right off of his head. Derek Ip with 5 and 1 for the goal. Thank you for your kindness, generosity, and support. Much, much appreciated. Derek Ip. We'll try to run through here and okay, we'll catch up with the live chat. Stephen, how long have you been deep state super duper secret program super soldier? Well, I haven't yet, but during Griff Month, I may suddenly have recovered memories of my secret space missions. So we'll see, right? Professor P says Stormcrow. Yeah, absolutely. It's Professor P. I'm looking over there at H-Bomb's YouTube channel, and I see that maybe 15 of you subscribed. But I'm going to put it in the live chat again. We've got the aggregate is telling me that we have 500 people watching. So if we could get a bunch of you guys to go and sub to H-Bomb, that would really help. I'm on the hook now. I told him I would help him. And I want to pay it forward. The guys from Kino were so kind to me, and they really gave me a big bump and helped me out. And so I want to pay it forward and help some other YouTube content creators out. You know, have good karma. Unlike this fake spiritual guru, David Wilcock, I have good karma. Yeah, thank you. I am awesome. You're right. You're absolutely right. I'm definitely awesome. So sub to H-Bomb. It's in the link is right there. Just click the link, go over there and subscribe, and then come right back. And also pinned in the live chat is our new True Seekers Clips channel. If you like these funny Wilcock clips, there's a bunch of them, and there's some funny Corey Good clips, and all our funniest condensed stuff is all on the True Seekers Clips channel. Subbed, there you go. You reap what you sow. I subbed. Thank you. Let's get him there. I don't know how long it's going to take us, H-Bomb, but I promise you that I will keep pumping your channel and asking my audience to help for as long as it takes until we get you there. And then we'll have you as a guest or something to talk about your channel when we do one of those DSP shows. Chand Malik is here with a kind of generous $20 Canadian. Says, thanks for exposing Wilcock, Elizondo, Good, etc. Greer still needs more convincing. Sorry. Well, come on. If you're not convinced yet, you will be. You will be. You'll be convinced that Greer is a grifter. You know, I don't know. I have to make better arguments, and I have to really, really regather a lot of old evidence of his fakery and fraud. Right over on the desk over to the side of me here, Chand Malik, I have his 2001 disclosure book that he sold for, I think, hundreds and hundreds of dollars with a VHS tape. And it says that the smoking gun evidence is in there. You know what's in there? Fake stories and fake government documents. That's what's in his 2001 disclosure book. He's been grifting. I'll tell you this, though, Chand Malik, I believe he's the most successful UFO grifter. He's grifted to the tune of millions of dollars. He truly is a millionaire, and it all came from lying to people about aliens. Greer is an old school grifter from the Coast to Coast AM days. Yeah, absolutely. Well, we're getting a little bit behind schedule here, so we're going to get to the clip. Uh, okay, 1 second here. I have to find, where was it at? I had it. Oh, just bear with me 1 minute. We want to thank Macario Mend at Macario Mend on Twitter. The shows are so much better since Macario Men started clipping all the best stuff. We used to just go through his 5 hour streams, but you know how hard that is to do because he's so boring. Like maybe once an hour he'll say something interesting, but other than that, Jesus, it's just a slog through 5 hours of him talking. Is terrible. So thanks to Macario Mend, we are able to just get to the goodies. And last week's stream was a pretty big letdown. It really was. But there's some interesting tidbits in there. So we'll go through the clips. I wanted to check in here. We're at 10 of 50 for the goal. We only need 40 kind and generous people to believe in our goal. And God bless our goal enough. It's 40 more at 5 or more. That would really, really be awesome. If we hit the goal tonight, Snarks is on at 10 p.m. And it's only 8 o'clock. I don't know if we're going to... I'll fill the time. We'll wait, and then we'll cover the Snarks. Smart guys with Ashton Triple P from Kino Casino and Dumbside Phil. I'm interested to see if they're going to talk about this girl snaking all of his money away from him or what's going to happen with that. So, let's share this first. So for those unaware, David Wilcock's wife made cucumber porn. Now, I know what you're saying, Stephen. There's no such thing as cucumber porn. And that's what I thought until I actually saw it. There is a such thing. She made videos where she showed women how to peel a cucumber, and apparently the cucumber will cleanse the vajayjay. So if you got a stinky puss, you don't need medical attention. You just need to jam a cucumber in there. And she also said during that video, which, by the way, I'm sorry, I can't show it to you. It's extremely pornographic. She's basically standing next to a girl who dills herself with a cucumber, right? And so people made a big joke of this. She left David for a cucumber. It is his ex-wife. I think she left him because she realized he was gay and he couldn't make her come because he wasn't, like we heard in the beginning of the broadcast, he's allergic to vaginas. It's an unfortunate thing. I don't know any straight men that are allergic to vaginas. Maybe it's just me. Does anybody know any straight men that get sick when they start making out with a woman? That get sick to their stomach and they have a hard time? I think that's only gay men would be affected by something like that. But yeah, it is what it is. And what's this one? I just saw this post. It's from a movie someone was watching. It reminded me of Wilcock. Oh, yeah, that's pretty gross. All right, so 1 second. I'm going to put my fair use banner up because these clips we're sharing is fair use. This is a transformative work. We are sharing this video to critique it and educate the public. Therefore, this is covered under fair use. Let's get into the clips.
David Wilcock for president. No, we'll do vice president, not president. Okay, but yeah, if he gets deactivated for some reason, I'll take the vice role, absolutely. But I'm not going to try to replace our bro, our hero, our friend.
Yeah, that's great. Talk about a bloated sense of self-importance. He could be the vice president if something happens to the president, our current vice president.
There's some people out there who.
Hasn't he said many times, Macario says, hasn't he said many times that it was going to happen fast? Mass arrests were going to move quick, and that it would also be during the 10 days of darkness, which he said happened weeks ago, but now he's changing his story.
So there's some people out there who were like, oh my God, where is the list? You know what I'm talking about. Why hasn't it happened yet? What the hell is happening? What's going on here? Look, you guys, this is not like something where you just drag home the big prize on the.
Even his moron followers are starting to question the whole mass arrest narrative. So he's got to keep changing the story as people start to actually question it. Yeah, they rub their two brain cells together.
First round. just like in a legal battle, you go multiple rounds and you don't go for a knockout, you go for a TKO. And so the TKO is coming, but again, we've all been humbled and we've had to realize, like, this might not go as fast as I wanted. This might not be going the way that I wanted.
And Light Warrior says it is his false statements about the subpoena that are going to get his ass in trouble this time. He is dumb as a rock. I couldn't agree more. He is dumb as a rock. He's definitely dumb as a rock, this guy. I was almost disappointed. He didn't mention me too many times.
Resurgence of bad problems and difficulty this past week, starting on Tuesday. It was my one day off, and I ended up getting food poisoning. We'll talk about that. But
he got food poisoning. Oh, okay. You notice that the one thing I noticed watching Wilcock a lot is that he is literally always complaining that his life is such, oh my God, the wind, oh my God, the snow, oh my God, the smoke detectors in my house kept going off. Oh my God. Dude, you live in a multi-million-dollar mansion in the beautiful Colorado mountains, and you're like a negative Nelly. You're always complaining. You make $258,000 a year. You live in a mansion, right? I mean, you got to tell people that you take baths and piss. I guess that's downside, right? But why are you always complaining and telling people about all your problems? People don't want to hear it. They have their own problems. Right? And I love the fact that he's sitting in $1 million mansion crying and telling people that he doesn't have money to buy groceries. And people are morons enough to send him money. So I just kind of think that the rule is you probably shouldn't give a guy who lives in a mansion, a $2 million home, money unless you live in a $4 million home. That would be charity. It's not charity giving money to David Wilcock. It's idiocy. It's moronville.
I ended up vomiting. So I had a very bad Tuesday, and then I couldn't sleep on Wednesday, Thursday, and it just turned into a big mess. So believe it or not, last night, and part of it is just, this subpoena thing is dragging on and on.
Yeah. And your problems are about to get worse if you don't take those videos of the false accusations of me down. Do you think Gaia is the only people that have legal means?
They keep asking us for more stuff. We haven't decided to try to take it to court yet because, again, that's going to cost $20,000, which I do have. But before we get there, let's just prove that this conspiracy theory that I'm guilty of destroying their company is wrong.
Yeah. And for those that are unaware, when David Wilcock and Corey Good left Gaia, they basically, allegedly, embarked on a plan to destroy Gaia and start their own streaming network. And that plan failed miserably. And so Gaia TV has all this evidence that Corey Good and possibly David Wilcock were involved in purposeful, harmful actions to affect their stock price and damage their company incredibly. And they're suing Corey Good into oblivion. David Wilcock, for some reason, got off the hook with Gaia. Like, he agreed to apologize and retract his statements. He called them Luciferian Satanists. Does it sound familiar? He called me a Satan worshiper. Anybody that's David Wilcock's perceived enemy is suddenly a Satan worshiper. He did it with Gaia. He did it with me. He's done it with others. And so now they're not suing David Wilcock. They're suing Corey Good, but they are subpoenaing all of his communications between Corey Good and him. And they're allowed to do that. And David Wilcock is freaking out. And I think he's freaking out because there is some very incriminating things in those allegedly, or it's my belief. It's my opinion. I'm allowed to have an opinion. I'm of the opinion that there is some very incriminating things in those emails. And so he's freaking out with this subpoena. He doesn't want to have to testify against Corey Good because he knows that Corey Good is a very spiteful, venomous, vindictive man. But he's going to have to. He's going to have to throw Corey Good under the bus. And we're going to get the transcripts and read all about it. We'll bring it to you, friends. I'm
Give
here
them
for
what
it.
they're asking for because they think they're going to find something. So essentially, I've been guilty of being not guilty. They're mad that they're looking through these 12,000 pages that we already gave them And they're
Yeah,
not
and this moron has previously said that he gave Gaia 12,000 pages of communications between him and Corey Good that they subpoenaed, but he didn't read it. Genius move there. Genius move. Man, you must have a great lawyer, like a Perry Mason lawyer that says, "Yeah, just give him everything. Don't even read through it before you give it to him." What could go wrong? This guy is a goddamn moron.
not finding incriminating data that they were hoping to find. So instead of just accepting that I'm not guilty, they think that I must be committing fraud because they can't find the crime. So they're asking for more and more and more. And so we have a package that
you're required by law. It's a court order. You have to hand over whatever the subpoena says.
should have been out to them in the middle of the week, but my lawyer's having terrible negative greetings, so we're going to get it to him hopefully on Monday. I hope he will be able to call me by then, but his mother is in the ER. He's had one crazy negative greeting after another.
What does your lawyer's mother in the ER have to do with anything?
After we get
Again, this is all, in my opinion, all of this is just stuff that's designed to make people feel sorry for him so that they send him more money. That's my belief, and I'm entitled to it. I'm sorry, I didn't realize it wasn't big.
give them these next three things, they're probably going to ask for even more. I don't know when this is ever going to stop. It is a total nightmare, and it feels like
Good. You deserve it. You called an entire company Luciferian Satan worshippers with no evidence of that except your own wacky imagination. You deserve some kind of repercussions. Karma, David Wilcock. This is karma. You talk about karma, you don't even understand it. You do harmful things to people, you do evil things, and evil comes back to you. You do good things, and good things come back to you.
absolute harassment, and I am very confident that when we take
Not harassment. It is a legal subpoena. They legally subpoenaed you. A judge in a district court is not going to let them harass you. It is a court judge approved. The judge has to sign off on the subpoena. Are you saying the judge is also in on harassing you? Notice how everybody's harassing him. People tweeting mean things are harassing him. People subpoenaing, people filing subpoenas for his communications. That's harassment. A judge approving that's harassment. People leaving negative comments in his YouTube channel, that's harassment.
take this in front of the judge will feel the same. And we
The judge issued the subpoena, you moron. They're not going to agree with you. You have to turn those records over. Just do it.
may have to do that. I may have no other choice. So this has a lot to do with why I've been sick this past week.
Well, stress and anxiety can cause health issues. And I believe that the stress of, I truly believe that the stress of the deadline coming up, he's only got 85 more days that he can convince his moron followers to give him money before they're all going to wake up and realize he's going to have to explain why Ascension didn't come by May of 2025. He's going to have to explain why there's not open contact with extraterrestrial angelic aliens. He's going to have to explain that. So there's a lot of stress. I'll be streaming tomorrow in the morning, games and locales. I'm also a big Rich detractor, big ups. Well, welcome Ames32. Glad to find you. Glad you found us, and I'm glad your $5 found my pocket. Thank you very much for helping us to praise the cash. And everybody can go and check out Ames' channel. If you enjoy the DSP content that we do, you'll probably enjoy his. Jets707, whatever happened to your BFF CW Channer? At least Steve is funny. You know, it's really, I don't even know what to say about that. He was, here's the best thing that I could say and be as diplomatic as possible. I have a lot of empathy for CW Channer. For those unaware, he was a guy who really he covered everything Corey Good did for years. And then he got sued over it. And he had $45,000 in legal expenses. And then he got divorced from his wife because he hooked up with this girl, Kelly. And then the relationship with the new girl didn't work out. And she moved out and got married. And he got sued. And, you know, it kind of... he went through a lot. And so I I think that and by the way, I always wish him the best. I don't harbor any ill will towards him. I wish him the best. I hope he's doing well. I hope, his situation's improved. But he basically, accused me of ripping things off of him and then kind of stabbed me in the back. And, I don't wish him any ill will, but, I don't give somebody a second chance. But I do recognize and understand that he was under a tremendous period of mental anxiety and mental stress and marital stress and relationship stress and legal stress. So I kind of have some empathy and understanding and sympathy for why he reacted that way to me. I never did anything to him. I always supported him in every way. God bless, good luck, but he's not welcome anywhere near me. And neither is anybody that treats me that way. Now, things could always change. He could apologize, but he's not the apology type. So, I just left it as it is. I've moved on. I've been very, very successful with my own show, and he's streaming to the same 20 people. So it is what it is. Let's continue and hear what else Wilcock has to say here.
Because they have now threatened me that if we don't give them more information, they will use what's called motion practice. And what that means is that if I don't give them what they want, and they're going to do what's called a motion to compel, that I will be arrested. I'm literally facing arrest.
Yeah, I don't know if this is true. He may be held in contempt of court, but he exaggerates and he embellishes everything. If you get a subpoena for certain information and you don't turn it over, you can get held in contempt of court. But can they arrest you and put you in jail? I don't know. I think something like that is probably pretty rare, but I'm no lawyer. Ask a lawyer if you really want the truth of whether he's telling the truth here. I think he's embellishing and exaggerating his situation because he embellishes and exaggerates everything.
If I don't continue to give all of my secure private communications over in every single capacity that they're asking for. It's absolutely insane.
It's not insane. It's called a subpoena. They got a judge to sign off on it. Therefore, you have to do it, you moron.
To be honest, I've never been through anything like this. It's been a horrific week.
It's been a horrific week. Okay. Another horrific week for David Wilcock. Too bad. Sorry, not sorry for you.
Honestly,
bro.
My lawyer has been...
Who in the hell gave him the money? This doesn't sound like a bank. Yeah, here he describes like the terms of his Stavati deals are coming soon. Yeah, remember, he keeps saying that any week now, Stavati is going to be fully funded. People are investing billions of dollars. There's all these multi-million-dollar deals. They have a $2 billion business plan. They're going to build airplane manufacturing plants in China and Europe and Middle Eastern countries in the United States. They're going to build electric car manufacturing facilities in the United States. They're going to make power plants. They're going to make free energy devices, hover cars, spaceships, jet planes that are faster than anything on Earth, even though the company has never produced a single product or service in the airplane or aerospace industry for 30 years. But don't worry, big things are coming soon.
Honestly, my lawyer has been he's been very considerate. I don't get overbilled, but it is $500 an hour. So if he answers an email, it's $125. If I talk to him on the phone for 15 minutes or less, it's another $125.
Boy, David Wilcock's really keeping track of those legal expenses. And yet this is the guy who says that he's going to sue me. Dude, you can't afford a lawyer to deal with a simple subpoena, but you're gonna finance a lawyer. You're going to need two lawyers. Honest, if he tries to sue me, he's probably going to need two lawyers. He's going to need a lawyer in my home state of Pennsylvania, and I guess one in his home state. I don't know how this works. He's going to need at least one lawyer, maybe two. And he's going to fly here, and he's going to stay here during the entire length of a trial with me, which, by the way, I'll draw out to infinity. So good luck with that. He can't afford a lawyer to deal with a simple subpoena. But somehow he's going to file this huge lawsuit against me, right? This is proof that he's full of shit. Sorry, not sorry.
That's why I had to take out a business loan. They now want to give me...
He couldn't afford a lawyer to deal with a subpoena, and he had to take out a business loan. But he's been saying since June or July that he's going to sue me into oblivion, right? and get me arrested and I might get the death penalty. You know who says things like that? A moron.
Twice as much money on a line of credit, but it's 3.25% a month, which means after 2 months it's 6.5. After 10 months, if I didn't pay it back, it would be 32.50.
Jesus, what did he do? Go to a loan shark? That's loan shark kind of rates.
And they've been pressuring me like crazy. They just really, really want me to take this line of credit. I don't get any penalties if I don't use it. But
yeah, go ahead. Take out more money at 30% interest, you moron. Genius of the millennium.
But again, 3.25% a month. Stavati deals are very, very close to happening. I'm going to be
the Stavati deals. They're close to happening again.
Videos for our company this week. We're probably going to close on something maybe as early as the end of the week, and then we've got really big stuff that's coming in right afterwards.
Sure.
We're anticipating
3 years he's been saying big deals are coming next week. Hey, David Wilcock, TikTok, bitch. When is next week actually going to happen? You've been saying Stavati's going to get big deals next week. We're going to get money next week for years now. We've got all the clips. Don't make me play that 17-minute long montage of you saying the money's coming next week over and over and over again over the past 2 or 3 years.
Term sheets now. We got 4 people, as I said, competing over our $2 billion business plan, which is all non-military, by the way. We've got the, let's see. We've got the SM-920 and the SM-940 airliners. The SM-940 would be great for Air Force One.
Oh, sure.
You guys asked me last week. I didn't even have a chance to put pictures of it in here.
They have all these airplanes, but none of them are built. So who cares? You have pretty pictures of airplanes that your company has never built.
But you guys asked me last week.
Buffalo Spunks, everything is always coming soon. John Christian Spadavaccia, if the lender is contracting him and trying to sell him even more credit, I would definitely be suspicious. Light Warrior says he's lying. I doubt that he is even retained. This is a lawyer he's used before, Rafi Nafarban Baden, to represent him in relation to the subpoena. We will see soon enough. The docket is public. We're going to know who your lawyer is soon. We're going to know if you even hired a lawyer or have a lawyer soon. And boy, I will laugh if it turns out you didn't even hire a lawyer.
Does the SM-940 or 920 fly faster than other airplanes? The answer is yes. We can cruise at Mach 0.95.
Yeah, his imaginary airplane can fly faster than other real airplanes. But your airplanes are imaginary, David Wilcock. They're from the fucking land of make-believe, so who cares? Show us a working airplane. He can't, and he won't. And he's broke, and he's bald, and he's gay.
With fuel efficiently, which is faster than any other airliner. So, to put it in the simplest terms I can, it used to take me 5 hours to fly from Denver to LA. Now with this plane, it would only take 4 hours, roughly 4.11 hours.
Yes, with his imaginary airplane.
That's exciting and amazing.
His imaginary airplanes are exciting and amazing. I don't think his imaginary airplanes are very exciting. I mean,
I feel really good for
it would be exciting if they were real. Now he keeps saying peaceful tech. I'm sure it's because people are calling him Mr. Love and Light, calling Mr. Love and Light out for creating killing weapons. Yeah, they were selling bombs and missiles to kill people with. He's Mr. Love and Light. But his company's going to sell mortar shells, dynamite, bombs, bullets to shoot and murder people with, right? Yeah, Love and Light.
I feel really good for the most part. I mean, I'm on the verge of getting this company financed, which means that
you've been on the verge for 3 years. It's never going to happen because Stavati Aerospace is a scam, as pointed out in court documents. Court documents, the investor suing you said that your aerospace company is a Ponzi scheme and a scam. Then you lied and said that guy was settling and issuing you an apology letter. No, he's not. And he's not settling. The court case continues. He's still suing you. You lied to 500,000 people.
Much of the underlying anxiety that I have would not be happening anymore. So, you know, this is what we're doing. We're creating peaceful technology. We've got the
peaceful technology. What about the bombs that you're going to sell people to murder people with? What about the missiles and guided missiles that are going to be used to kill people? What about that stuff? What about the dynamite? What about the bullets? What peaceful purpose does bullets and mortar shells have, David Wilcock? Your whole life is a goddamn lie.
SM-920, 940 airliners. We've got the...
Remember, these are all imaginary. There is no airplanes. The company's been in business for 30 years. They can't show us a single airplane that they made, manufactured, or even prototyped and test flown. But he's going to build all these. He's going to build airliners, spaceships, hover cars. He's going to build firefighting airplanes and jet aircraft and space planes that fly both in Earth and in space, even though all the greatest aerospace companies in the world have never built a plane that can also fly in space and in Earth's atmosphere. His company that's never produced a single airplane product or service is going to make that technological breakthrough. Not Northrop Grumman, not, Lockheed Martin, not Boeing. His company that can't fly a remote control airplane at this point.
SM-150, which is a Cessna type of aircraft, and it can also be unpiloted. We've got the SM-100, which is the...
This moron gave this company that has been called an investment scam and a Ponzi scheme $1.5 million. And David Wilcock, you're never going to see your money back. You will never see that money you gave those people back. And you deserve that and more.
Firefighting aircraft. And then we have an acquisition of an aircraft manufacturer. I don't want to say who they are, because our lovely demon troll will go after them and then try to say that we're a fraud company like he does all the time online.
No, I might call the company and ask if they were bought by you. But you just said you acquired. He just said they acquired an airplane manufacturer. So if you guys have money to buy an airplane manufacturer or manufacturing plant, why don't you pay your bills? Why don't you pay the bills on your hangar facility? Why don't you pay back the investors the money that they claim you stole from them or your company stole from them? Instead, you're going to buy an air. You guys have no money. They're broke. If they had money, they wouldn't be being sued by a bunch of creditors, including even their accountant is suing them.
And he continues to get himself in more and more trouble.
Oh,
he continues to create more and more criminality, but he hasn't been able to steal my money anymore.
Oh,
I've got all new credit cards because of what happened, and I'm being very careful. I'm only using PayPal and that kind of stuff. Stevie says there's a lot of trolls. Well, yes, we've actually beefed up our security team even more.
You mean he beefed up the cult team that deletes all the negative comments? That's what you did.
Actually beefed up our security team even more. We've got more staff, and they are now fully going to be committed to staying for the whole entire 5 hours because we are being attacked like never before. It is coming from every side.
You're a loser. Mean comments in your live chat is not an attack. You're a loser and a bitch. You have to hire people to delete every critical comment, every negative comment, every question you don't like. This is the hallmark, David Wilcock, of a cult leader. That is exactly what a cult leader would do. Ask any cult expert. They control the flow of information that their followers can see.
The so-called lawfare, the amount of godlike power that these people think they have because they've done a subpoena. Now they're threatening to arrest me if I don't comply.
Notice how he's mixing everything all together. These are all separate things. Mean tweets in my chat. I got a subpoena. I may get arrested. Come on, you loser.
So we're giving them 3 more pieces of discovery. We've been working all week on that. It's really insane, you guys.
I think he should have said, I'm really insane, you guys. We want to thank, pardon me, we want to thank Kino Tech USA for kind and generous $2. My 1 day off straight from the DSP playbook. Yeah, I'm having a day off soon, so send me some money. And by the way, I'm having a weekend off. I'm finally getting back to the cabin this weekend. So I'm going to pull a DSP, right? Like, hey, man, I need money for gas for the cabin. No, I don't. Because I'm not a loser like Darkside Phil. He's broke. He's bald. He's a loser. So is David Wilcock. Chandra is here with a kind and Shando. Again, I apologize. Names are important and I try to read them right. And for those unaware, we read every single super chat and thank every single person. Shando with a kind and generous $5 Canadian says, great work. Well, thank you for appreciating us. We certainly appreciate you. And thank you for your kindness, generosity, and support. Mark Center. That's a great name. Center. Keep up the excellent research, Stephen. The grift continues. Praise the cash. Yeah. Well, thank you for your kindness, Mark Center. I appreciate you. Thanks for appreciating us. And thank you so much for helping us to praise the cash. We'll check in with the goal in a minute. Why do grifters like Wilcock and Darkside Phil read off their bills to the audience? Why is this so effective at convincing their audiences to donate? I really don't know. I guess it's just like, hey, I've got these expenses and I could really use your help. And, Darkside Phil used to tell people that he didn't have money for groceries, right? So look, it's my day off tomorrow. And if you guys don't donate, I won't be able to buy food. And David Wilcock has used the same tactic. He said, sometimes I don't even have money for food. Like, he lives in a $2 million mansion, and he previously said he had 2 months worth of grass-fed bison ribeye steaks in his freezer. If you've got 2 months worth of grass-fed bison ribeye steaks in your freezer, you've got money for groceries, right? And we see that David Wilcock spends his money on stupid shit, just like DSP does, right? I don't know why it's so effective, Criminal Restreamer. And Criminal Restreamer is one of those criminals that restream Darkside Phil stuff. So he's definitely a criminal. 17 years of slander 220 with 5 says, should I start bathing like Daddy DW says to get my powers, dude? Yeah. No, don't do that. That's gross. And it doesn't work. If it was that easy to become a superhero, there'd be superheroes flying around all over. And what I don't understand, like David Wilcock says, if you take a bath in your own piss, you get superpowers. So that means if piss touches your skin, you get superpowers. Well, we've all pissed ourselves at one point in time, right? As children, at least, we've pissed ourselves. Wouldn't we have gotten superpowers from pissing ourselves? None of this makes any sense. 17 years of slander 220, but thank you for your kindness, generosity, and support. And here's one from I'm sorry, I'm having trouble reading this. Let me make sure that I'm reading it correctly. AEWE, Ollie? Mr. Gaslight Worker, still waiting for 3 days of darkness. Yeah, well, keep waiting. It'll come. And if it doesn't, he'll just move the goalpost and say the 3 days of darkness is coming next year. But we thank you for your kindness, generosity, and support. Thank you for helping us to praise the cash. And another one for the goal from CSK. Do you have a garden at the cabin? You should grow cucumbers. I don't have a garden at the cabin, and there's a really strange reason for that. We're in the middle of the woods, and I'd like to have a garden, but the deer eat everything. I planted flowers one year all around the cabin. They ate every flower down to the root. I planted 50 tomato plants and 50 pepper plants one year, my first or second year there. And my neighbor's like, oh, dude, you got to put a fence up. They'll destroy that. And I go, maybe they'll get a little bit of it, but it's okay. They ate every tomato plant down to the root. They ate every pepper plant down to the root. So if I would like to eventually have a garden at the cabin, but if I do it, I have to fence it off, and it has to be a 6-foot high fence or they jump it. We do have a pretty big green, well, not that big. It's 12 by 24 greenhouse. And last year we grew potatoes and carrots in there because it's a building. So the deer can't get inside there. They're safe. But thank you for the question and the support. Very kind of you. Criminal Restreamer. Buy David Wilcock's Urine Logic babies. Should be badass. Yeah. Urine Logic babies. Yeah. They should have lots of superpowers, I guess, right? Jim Bob is here with a kind of generous $5 Canadian, says, are you ready to transcend with the probing chickens in May? I can't wait. Yeah, it's coming. The ascension is always coming. According to David Wilcock, it's been coming since 1998. But, you know, it'll be here eventually. Ascension's got to happen eventually. It's not going to happen in our lifetime, maybe. But, you know, hey, his predictions are still correct, Jim Bob. And thank you for the support. Much, much appreciated. Let's go to the next clip. Well, we don't have. Oh, we do have. We got plenty left. I was like, oh, we don't have too many.
Janet Klein says it doesn't take 5 hours from Denver to LAX, 3 at the most. I don't know when you've been flying, but it depends on which way you're going.
He got the time that it takes in the flight wrong, and people are questioning him, and he freaks out like a lunatic.
If you fly against the trade winds, it takes 5 hours. If you fly in favor of the trade winds, it's never been less for me than like 3.5, maybe 4 at the most. So maybe you've got a faster airplane you were on. I don't know. But the point is, this is the bottom line. If the flight would normally take you...
Yeah. My imaginary airplane can do it faster.
5 hours on, let's say, a Boeing 747 or an Airbus A320. On our airliner, the 920, it's only going to take you 4 hours, 4.11. So it's a massive, massive speed increase. So we've literally hit all of the metrics. It costs less to fly.
Yes, his imaginary airplane hit all these metrics.
33% less to fly. It's 8 cents per passenger per mile instead of 12 cents. It has more fuel efficiency. It has a longer range.
Okay.
It holds more fuel in the wind.
Yeah, my imaginary airplane can do all these amazing things. Show us the airplane, you dumb dickhead. You can't, and you won't, because Stavati doesn't build airplanes. At least they haven't for the 30 years they've been in business.
And it flies faster. So, plus it also holds cargo containers at LD-345. So everything is better. We're awaiting a term sheet from one of our investors that wants to do the $2 billion business plan. And again, none of this stuff is military, you guys.
And now, like Macario says, he's backing up on all the bombs and stuff because he's getting shit. Mr. Love and Light is selling bombs, artillery, dynamite, bullets to murder people with.
One that's really caught on, the one that everybody wants to do now, is the non-military plan. It's really interesting.
And remember, next week, somebody's signing up for their $2 billion business plan. I guess they're going to give them $2 billion so they can build all these amazing things that they've never built so far.
Interesting how this has turned out. I do believe we're still going to develop our other military stuff. I mean, this would revolutionize the U.S. Air Force because it's the fastest plane ever made. It's next generation air defense.
No, it's a fucking plastic toy, you dumb dickhead. It's a plastic toy, David Wilcock. It's not real. Show us the real version. Show us you flying it. I'd love to see that. He's 3D printed plastic toys, and he's calling them prototypes.
4 goes Mach 4. We probably are going to start developing in other countries, and then we're going to have it in the U.S. too. So I'm not really worried about the future. The question is who's going to cross the line first. And we have some investors who are ready to step up and perform this coming week.
Yeah, this coming week. That means the next live stream, you're going to tell us that you got the $2 billion, right? Or you're going to say next week we're getting the deal. See, I think what's happening here, and this is my speculation, I'll freely admit it. I think what's been happening here for a long time now is that David Wilcock, moron that he is, gave this scammy, shady company $1.5 million. And they keep telling him that the other investors are coming along and he's going to get his money back. So he doesn't want to believe that he lost that $1.5 million. David, Mr. Wilcock, you're never going to see your $1.5 million. It's gone. They spent it. And then some. They spent that other investor's $1 million and they can't give him his money back. That means that Stavati have somehow blown through $2.5 million while not producing a single product or service or generating any profit at all other than from a garbage dumpster company that was storing garbage dumpsters at your hangar. You're never getting your money back, Mr. Wilcock. And they can string you along every week and tell you people are investing billions of dollars and you're getting your money. You're never getting your money back.
So it looks very, very good. And my dreams seem to be telling me...
His dreams are telling him.
...that we're getting very, very close to the edge here.
Oh, his dreams.
Yeah, the team is continuing to attack trolls like crazy. We've definitely got a whole intelligence community-sponsored massive attack against this show. So if you read the comments, just be aware that we are being
He
very
is a complete and total moron. People leaving mean comments in his live chat is what did he say? It's a deep state intelligence community operation.
intelligence community sponsored massive attack against this show.
He can't prove that. He's a moron.
So if you read the comments,
Massive attack. People saying mean things in his live chat is a massive attack. Somebody say something mean in my chat so I can claim I'm under massive attack and get more donos tonight, right? Somebody say something mean. Go ahead. Then I'll be able to say that we're under deep state massive attack, and I'll be able to get more donations, right? If it works for David Wilcock.
just be aware that we are being very, very attacked. Happy birthday. How did you get food poisoning? Says Anita Constant. It probably was from eating an old piece of turkey breast. I grew up in a family that was extremely poor, and you don't throw away
His family wasn't poor. His father wrote for Rolling Stone. They were loaded.
food. And I opened up this turkey breast, and it smelled kind of funny, but I said, well, it's only the juices that smell bad. The turkey breast is okay. I want to finish this up. And then the next thing you know, I threw up 7 times
This moron ate bad turkey breast.
later in the day. So
He's a moron. I don't know. I always err on the side of caution, especially because I'm cooking for my whole family. For those unaware, I cook every day. My wife cooks sometimes on the weekends. 5 days a week at least, I cook dinner. And I always err on the side of caution. If something doesn't smell right, you throw it in the trash. You don't risk food poisoning, especially not for something as cheap as, he must be really cheap. He's broke. He's so broke he has to eat bad turkey breast. He's broke. So broke he has to eat rotten turkey breast. Trolly troll with 5. Even 4 hours from Denver to LA is way too long. Well, yeah, I mean, my worst flights were Philadelphia International to Las Vegas. That's like an 8.5-hour flight, I think. 8 or 8.5. It's brutal. It's brutal being on an airplane that long, All you can hope for is that you fall asleep, and sometimes I did, and sometimes I didn't. When I didn't, it sucked. And usually on the way there, I didn't sleep because you're excited. You're going to Las Vegas, Aaron Flores said he was so rich, only a rich boy would call the fire department for a battery change. Exactly. He's from a rich, affluent family. His father wrote for Rolling Stone for years. You don't do that if you're poor.
that's a pretty convincing explanation.
Convincing explanation. He got food poisoning from eating rotten turkey. Nice. Rotten turkey. Yeah. Great.
Dude, I woke up 7 times last night, and I think
Listen, if you woke up 7 times the night before you do a show, do you go, I got to make a slide about this? Like, this is what kind of moron this guy is. Oh, I woke up 7 times. It was horrific. I woke up 7 times. Let's make a slide about it.
up 7 times last night, and I think part of it is I'm so nervous and excited about this. Plus, the once the escalation of this subpoena has turned into, we are going to arrest you if you don't completely give us everything that we ever ask you in our wildest dreams. That's what it's turned into. We are going to arrest you if you don't participate and comply.
Remember, he exaggerates and embellishes everything, so I don't know how much of this we can trust as actual reality. It may be his reality, Mr. Schizo, paranoid, schizophrenic kind of,
And
the same guy that turned somebody knocking on his door into a swatting event.
now, at the same time, my attorney is getting massively hit with negative greeting. His mother is in the ER. She may not even make it. So we still haven't answered that.
Yeah, like a paranoid schizo. He weaves together. He connects all these dots that are just disconnected events, just coincidences. But to a schizo mental wackadoo, this all means something. This is all connected. It's some big attack.
And at least he got to them on Friday night and said his mother's in the ER. So they have heard that. But I want to get this stuff done. I don't want to delay anything. So this is really, really bothering me.
Well, then give the information that they're asking for in the subpoena, and that'll be all over, loser.
So I've had tremendous anxiety.
Oh, he's had tremendous anxiety, right? Yeah, so much anxiety that you're going on public live streams and accusing people of being thieves terrorists, extortionists, stalkers, harassers, Satan worshipers, PDF file people, right? You have so much anxiety, but yet you have no anxiety about making all those false accusations. David Wilcock, what do you think's going to happen if you keep making these false accusations about me? You think that you're going to have no consequences? Think again. You're about to have more anxiety.
And last night it hit its peak because all of these other distractions, all these other terrible things that have been happening led to me waiting until the last minute to do these slides. I did.
Oh, God. He was so upset he couldn't make slides, right? And look at some of the slides he makes. They're so ridiculous. I would be embarrassed to make slides like that. Oh, I got awoken 7 times. The wind was howling. It was a weather attack. People are stealing money out of my bank account. I'm sure it's Steven. Well, it may not be Steven. I'm sure it's him.
Didn't even really start building most of the show until yesterday, and I simply ran out of time. And once it gets past a certain hour, my eyes barely even work anymore. I can't actually see.
His eyes don't work anymore. Oh my God. What a lunatic. What a loony bin. This dude needs a new jacket. Let's put it that way. He needs a new jacket and a new room, and the room should be covered in rubber.
Now, why do I say that? Well, as I said, I got food poisoning, vomited on Tuesday.
Here's the medical disinformation. And by the way, David Wilcock, this right here is a community guideline strike.
I had a fever. I was dizzy. And then I did not take any more probiotics for the last 3 days. So apparently, when I vomited, I lost all of my intestinal gut flora, all the probiotics in my gut.
Yeah, this moron was taking horse medication every day since he had COVID weeks and weeks ago. This is what he's saying. He was taking horse medication, and you guys know what that medication is. And by the way, if you're having a medical problem, don't take advice from the moron from Ancient Aliens. Don't take medical advice from this moron. Go to your doctor, your primary care physician, or go to a hospital. Don't take medical advice from the moron from Ancient Aliens, or you'll get sick like he did, because apparently he can't afford a doctor. Do you know why? Because he's broke, and he's bald, and he's gay, and he's eating rotten turkey. He's eating rotting turkey, wondering why he's getting sick. And he's taking horse medication every day, wondering why he's getting sick, because he's a moron.
Were vomited out. And then I started without having anything because everything was clear. And then I didn't replenish that stuff with anything new. Plus, I was worried that I might have gotten food poisoning again yesterday.
I might get
so
it
I
again.
took a charcoal pill, which is guaranteed to kill off all the microbes in your gut. I didn't even think about that. So, I hadn't taken any probiotics for 3 days. And then this morning when I finally took a 20 billion probiotic pill.
Does anybody need to know all this? I don't know, maybe it's just me. Chat, let me know what you think. But I have children, which means I get sick a lot. And I might mention it on the show, but only if I missed show days. One time I had a stomach virus for 3 days. And when I came back, I said, I'm happy to be back. I'm sorry for my absence. I was getting over a stomach virus. But this guy puts every little thing down. He makes slides about it. Wilcock, you're not that important, dude. You don't need to tell your audience every time you puke or shit your pants.
Within 40 minutes, I had this massive bowel movement. I don't want to get too specific because
there he
you
is.
guys are a little too sensitive for that. But yeah, it was biblical.
He took a biblical shit. And he tells people when he's constipated. What a loser.
It was I don't want to get into it, but it filled everything. So it was wow, man, how did I have all that stuff inside of me? Well, that's like holding on to things, that's holding on to old attachments and pain.
He's holding on to his poop, and poop is pain, friends, but piss is good, because piss gives you superpowers, apparently, right? You get superpowers from the piss.
Now, why do I say that? Well, as I said, I got food poisoning, vomited on Tuesday. I had a fever. I was dizzy. And then I did not take any more probiotics for the last 3 days. So apparently, when I vomited, I lost all of my intestines.
Oh, this is a duplicate. Let's go to the next one.
I have never been threatened with arrest by anyone if I don't surrender intensely personal communications, and then they just keep escalating and escalating and escalating. It's really, really crazy.
They want him to turn over all of his communications between him and Corey Good, and he doesn't want to do that. Why? Well, we can speculate that there may be something in those communications that he doesn't want to be made public. And David Wilcock, all that stuff is going to be made public.
And I'm doing all this in the middle of trying to also fight this war for you guys.
He's fighting a war. He's fighting a war. Did you hear him? He's fighting a war.
And the Alliance, they say it's very important we get these slides out every week, so I don't...
Yeah, the Alliance. Let's just spitball for a minute. What if the Alliance is real and it really is a group of military people and intelligence people from countries around the world? Would people like that really tell him, like, you got to make these slides, man? You got to make these slides and get these slides out to the morons that follow you every week. It's very important to us that morons on the internet hear your Q-tard regurgitated nonsense from shadows of dumbass. Jim Bob with kind and generous $5 Canadian. Why is everything this guy says got to be, I'm sad, I'm broke, I'm under attack? He is a sad man. Yeah, he is a sad sack of shit, this guy, right? He calls them printed toys prototypes. He will never have anything that flies, and his cult fan club lap it up. Well, they're morons. They're idiots. You have to be an idiot to believe anything this guy says based on his track record. But thank you for the kind comment, and I agree with you 100%. The aliens demand a PowerPoint slideshow. Yeah. The aliens are like, hey, man, we traveled across the vast distances, many light years, and we've come here to see your PowerPoint slide presentation. We can't go back home to our own star system until we see your PowerPoint presentations. He's Robo Soldier when he's not grifting and dribbling on YouTube. Could be. Yeah, could be.
I don't feel like I can ever take a week off. And I want to make that point very clear. I mean, I do have a great persona. I like to laugh. I like to have fun.
You see that? He made a slide. Every time I do this show, I am taking a serious risk. A serious risk of what? Getting free money from morons? Is that what you're risking? Every week you risk getting free money, thousands of dollars from morons.
But every time I do this show, I am taking an enormously serious risk. The stuff that I talk about could easily get me whacked.
He could get killed. He could get whacked. He's going to get whacked for talking about this nonsense on the internet. Let's hear that again. He says that the stuff he talks about is so important, so dangerous, he could get killed. You're going to get killed for showing people Telegram Q-tard posts? You're going to get killed for telling people that you're talking to your imaginary angel friends? Who's going to kill you for that, you moron?
Serious risk. The stuff that I talk about could easily get me whacked. And there's never been a more dangerous time.
He's going to get whacked.
Talking about the stuff that I'm talking about due to the nature of the enemy, due to the nature of the threat of what's actually happening in the world today. I have never had a more dangerous time, and I can't help but feel that the timing of these threats of arrest and the subpoena, which is basically like being in a lawsuit, it's all the same stuff.
Yeah, you notice last week it was this terrorist and cyber hacker, Stephen Cambion, is attacking me and stealing all of my money. And this week it's this evil Gaia Corporation is attacking me and trying to get me arrested. This is all just a plot device for morons to feel sorry for him, think his information actually is important, and give him more money. It's a plot device. He uses it every week. He's under massive attack. One week it was by the wind. He was under attack by a goddamn windstorm. There was 30-mile-an-hour winds near his home. I checked. That's not a weather weapon, you moron. That's called a storm, windstorm, whatever.
I mean, in a lawsuit, basically, the only two things I don't have to do is I don't have to get a deposition and I don't have to go to court.
No, you moron. I'm losing my patience. I'm getting angry. He is such a moron. I don't believe that he has an actual lawyer, because a lawyer would explain that when you get a subpoena to do a deposition, that's a court order. A judge has ordered you to give a deposition. And for those unaware, that means they sit you in a chair and the opposing side's lawyer gets to grill you for 8 hours. He has been subpoenaed. He's on the deposition list. There is a judge sanctioned court order ordering him to give a deposition, and there is a subpoena, again, that the judge approved, ordering him to hand over all of his communications that the plaintiff's lawyer requested between him and Corey Good. Here he is like a moron saying, I don't have to give them this stuff. I don't have to sit for a deposition. Anybody can go on Pacer, you moron, and look at the court document and see there's court orders that, yes, you do have to do those things. You are a moron. And if you actually have a lawyer, fire him and get a good one who can explain these things to you. And just to be clear, I'm not a lawyer, but I worked for lawyers. I worked at no, let's be clear. I worked for a Fortune 500 company, and I worked in the pre-legal department. In other words, I was the last person that the customers talked to settle disputes. And if the dispute wasn't settled, I sent them to the lawyers, and the lawyers for this Fortune 500 company sued the balls off of them. So I know a little bit about the subpoena process and all that stuff, having that experience. He is a complete and total moron. If you get a subpoena to do a deposition, it's a court order. The court is ordering you to do that. You don't have a choice. It's not optional. It's not, well, if I feel like doing it, I'll do it. And here he is, like the dumb moron that he is, even though he claims he has a 180 IQ, this moron is saying, I don't have to do a deposition.
Basically,
yes, you do.
The only two things I don't have to do is I don't have to get a deposition and I don't have to go to court. But honestly,
the deposition takes place in a courtroom. Or actually could take place anywhere.
Two things all happen in one day each. Most of the rest of your entire lawsuit experience is exactly the same thing that I'm going through now. The suing party forces you to give them information. It's called a subpoena. You have to do it or they'll arrest you. So it's all basically the same. And every time we give them something, they come back and they want more. So it's extremely upsetting. I'm sure
they're getting ready to grill you for 8 hours in that deposition, you moron.
Aware that it is. But at least I've got the money to defend myself and my constitutional rights, because I was already indemnified, already signed a settlement agreement. This is all illegal.
It's not illegal. It's court sanctioned, you moron. He just said that the subpoena is illegal. A judge signed off on these subpoenas. A judge wouldn't sign off on an illegal subpoena, you moron. Get a real lawyer, you moron. I think, and this is just my opinion and speculation, he hasn't hired a lawyer. I think that he doesn't have a lawyer. That's kind of what I'm thinking. That he doesn't have a lawyer. So he is risking his financial future because he may be risking his financial future because he's too much of a moron to hire a lawyer. Now I've lost my place. God damn it.
It just so happens that the hell winds, as I call them.
That's probably it. Oh, God. I think this is the last one.
I have never been threatened with arrest. The rest of your entire lawsuit experience is exactly
this
the
is
same
where
thing that
we
I'm
were
going
at.
through now.
I apologize.
The suing party forces you to give them information. It's called a subpoena.
Yeah.
You have to do it or they'll arrest you. So it's all basically
it's a court order, moron.
And every time we give them something, they come back and they want more. So it's extremely upsetting. I'm sure they're aware that it is. But at least I've got the money to defend myself and my constitutional rights.
Yeah, he had to borrow the money. You didn't have the money. You had to borrow the money at 30% interest, because that's another moron move. You got a $2 million home. Why didn't you take out a home equity loan at 4% interest or 6% interest? Why would you take out a loan shark loan where you're going to have to pay some ridiculous high interest rate like 30%?
Because I was already...
You know why he has to do that? Because he's broke.
Indemnified, already signed a settlement agreement. This is all illegal. They should not be asking me for this, and all I have to do is show the judge our original agreement, and it should be over.
No, it's not over. Apparently, as I understand it, and let me be clear, I'm explaining it to the best of my understanding, and I may be incorrect in this. He did sign some kind of indemnity agreement with Gaia, but that was to indemnify him from Corey Good suing him, not Gaia. So he's in a lot of legal trouble.
Plus,
In
there's
my
a lot of
opinion.
other things we're going to add in there as well that make them very, very unhappy. So if
Yeah. Gaia Corporation has hundreds of millions of dollars. It's a big company, huge. They've got hundreds of millions of dollars. This clown had to borrow $20,000 to hire a lawyer, but he's going to take on this company worth hundreds of millions of dollars with an unlimited legal budget and an army of lawyers and win. Sounds a lot like Corey Good delusional lawfare stuff, right? Corey Good was going to sue all these people, and he was going to take their houses and all their property and their inheritances and all their money. Corey Good lost every case because he's just as big a moron as David Wilcock.
you push me, we're going to make it public, and then you'll know exactly what happened. The motion to quash that we file will tell the entire story, because at that point, they voided all rights to confidentiality. So again, the risk is already on me now. Every time I take this show, I'm under a serious risk.
He's taking a risk.
However, the excitement factor, how much we are winning.
What are you winning, dude? You're broke. He's winning. He's not winning anything. He's not winning anything. He's so broke he can't afford a lawyer. That's not winning. A winner would have the money and not need to get a loan, David Wilcock. You are a loser and a moron. You're not winning anything. What are you winning? I'm the best at reposting Q-tard Telegram posts from Q-tards. I'm winning by just stealing content constantly from Shadows of Ezra. That's all nonsense anyway. I'm winning because I'm making false accusations against my critics. I'm winning by hiring 8 people to sanitize my live chat and my YouTube comments and my Twitter threads so nobody can see anybody be mean to me. I'm winning. A winner wouldn't need to hire people. He would defend his own self. But David Wilcock is a pussy that has no balls, so he can't do that. I'm beginning to think that not only is he allergic to vaginas, I'm beginning to think that he has one. Next
just so
clip.
happens that the hell winds.
Oh, this is it. The winds are attacking him. And Macario says, how is he not in a padded room?
It just so happens that the hell winds, as I call them, were Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. So the only sane way I could do this was Saturday. I had to covertly do it so that I didn't let them know that I was going to do it until 20 hours before, and they weren't able to shift the wind fast enough.
Oh, they weren't. They have weather weapons that can control the weather and the wind, but they need more than 20 hours to fire up the machine. How does this make any sense? It doesn't. If they had a weather weapon, why would it take them 20 plus hours to fire up the machine? Wouldn't it be able to just instantly do it in a few hours?
But it absolutely looks like it was weather control.
It absolutely looks like it. Only a paranoid schizophrenic would think that the wind blowing too hard is a government attack, a government-sponsored CIA-level weather weapon being pointed at him. He's paranoid. And the reason I think that this guy is stuck in his own head, that's what I'm starting to think. He's stuck in his own head because he's been scamming people for fake angel prophecies for a few years now. Before that, he was scamming people for fake secret space stories. And we know that to be a fact, that you did that. Before that, he was scamming people for fake ascension prophecies and tell people everybody would get superpowers. All of those things are bad karma, David. Stealing money from people with lies generates bad karma. Do you understand that everything that's happening to you is your own karma manifesting, coming back to haunt you? And I think he knows this. And all of this is rolling around in his brain and causing him to have paranoid fears and even delusions. But I'm no psychiatrist. This is just my opinion.
It absolutely looks like it was targeted because, again, this has been happening every single weekend. Again, I'm not interested in leaving now. I don't need to move anywhere.
And by the way, I checked the long-term weather information right for his area where he lives. It hasn't been happening every week. It did happen. There did happen to be slightly unusually high winds. One week it was 20, 25 mile an hour winds on a Sunday. And then the following Sunday it was 30 mile an hour winds. So he's saying this is happening every week. Hey, you just lied to 500,000 people. Anybody can check the long-term weather data and know that you're lying.
The alliance wants me to move somewhere. If I end up serving this administration, maybe I'll end up living in D.C. or maybe
serving this administration. This is a narcissist trait. Narcissists all have bloated senses of self-importance, and his sense of self-importance is so bloated that he thinks he's getting a job in the Trump administration, and he's going to have to move to Washington, D.C., friends. Talk about delusional.
I'll end up living in Alexandria, Virginia. I don't know. We're going to find out. But I do believe now that it would be a very benevolent thing for me to help the alliance once we get the full scope of disclosure. UFOs, demons, Satan, all this kind of stuff.
Oh, yeah. He's going to help the alliance once we get disclosure. Well, we know that people have been promising this so-called alien or UFO disclosure since at least the 1950s, and it's never happened. So I guess you're never getting that job because disclosure is never coming. Disclosure is a lie, David Wilcock, a lie that you have greatly profited from for years, but still a lie.
That's the thing. When you are trained in psychology like I was, I have a bachelor's degree in psychology, master's equivalent, because I did an internship on a suicide hotline.
No. Macario is correctly pointing out, wait, you can get a BS in psychology and get a master's by working on a suicide hotline? No. He's got a bachelor's of science. He does not have a master's degree. But he thinks that he has the equivalent of a master's degree because he worked for a short time on a suicide prevention hotline, right? I think you ought to call the suicide prevention hotline, loser. That's what I think. And get yourself some goddamn therapy and counseling for your pathological lying for years to people and your delusions of grandeur. Go tell a psychiatrist that you're talking to angels who told you to take baths in your own piss so you could get superpowers. You're going to end up 302'd.
You are taught that in order to have two hostile parties conduct a successful negotiation, you have to force them that only one person talks at a time. You have to brutally interrupt both of them. You have to maybe even shout over them. This is what the therapist is supposed to do. If you get MFCC certification, that's marriage, family, child counselor. That's the thing.
Oh my God. Could you imagine going to a counselor and it's this guy, right? And of course, he wasted his psychology degree. And, you know, not for nothing, but his rich parents paid for most of his college. He could have done something good with his degree. And for a very short time, he worked with developmentally disabled people, but he wasn't making enough money. So then he started doing fake psychic readings for morons and came across the gold mine of morons in the world and just decided to scam people for his fake psychic powers instead of actually doing good in the world. You know, if you have a psychology degree, there's even just a bachelor's, there's many things that you could do. I have had many people in my son's life, he's nonverbal autistic, who were like his aides or therapists, and they all have psychology degrees. They spend their lives helping developmentally disabled or autistic children or nonverbal children or children with severe ADD or ADHD. They spend their lives helping people. You could have done that, David. Instead, you decided to spend your entire life lying to people. Great.
When you are trained in psychology like
Oh, I think we finished this one. I'm sorry.
certification, that's
Yeah, let's go to the next one.
Nanasani says, are you doing a deposition on this blank case? No, I am not a defendant on the case. They cannot add me on the case because I already signed an indemnity agreement.
You moron. You're on the deposition list. There's a court order that you do the deposition. Here he is lying to 500,000 people. Light Warrior says he is a stupid MFer. He doesn't understand that they were indemnifying him to protect them from good suing him, not Gaia. He is so effed. He thinks he is protected from everyone and everyone. Clueless and can't keep his mouth shut. Oh, man. That Area 503 says he's an idiot. He can still be sued. An indemnity agreement would mean Gaia would have to pay if he lost, but only under the terms of the agreement. Plus, courts have tossed these agreements before, depending on the case specifics. Yeah, he's a moron. I don't think he has a real lawyer. I think he's broke and he can't afford one. So he's trying to figure this out on his own, and that's going to, that saying, never be dumb enough to represent yourself in court, because you have a fool for a client, is true. If you're in a legal situation, it sucks to pay for lawyers. It really does, but you got to have a lawyer. He can't have a real lawyer because he keeps repeating patently false legal things. Like he thinks he knows how this works. He's already on the deposition list.
The Constitution, Fifth Amendment, says you can't go through double jeopardy. You can't be sued for something twice. So essentially, everything that's happening to me is illegal, and we know that, and the judge will side with us.
The judge signed the goddamn subpoenas, you asshole.
And it doesn't matter what kind of technicalities they think they found. We can get those dismissed, and we have lots and lots of other stuff we can bring to the table.
Wow.
Nanasani says, are you doing a deposition on this
just
blank case?
Just wow. And he doesn't even want to say on this Corey Good case. He doesn't even want to say Corey Good, right? He's trying to distance himself from his old grifting partner that he sold fake secret space stories with for years.
Then when I got,
and you notice how he's complaining. People keep bringing up Corey Good. Oh, that show was in 2018. I don't work with him anymore. You just worked with him a few months ago at his conference full of morons.
To college, I threw up from alcohol, and my entire suite was laughing at me as I was not only vomiting into the toilet, but soiling myself at the same time.
Oh, that's nice. Tell your audience that you puked and then shit your pants. He just told his audience he puked and shit his pants at the same time. Macario, he puked and crapped his pants at the same time. Again, he's having dreams about abuse. Since Wilcock can pretend to be a psychologist with a degree, I can do the same. I was in school longer than he was. David was, I don't even want to go there.
Then when I got to college, I threw up from alcohol, and my entire suite was laughing at me as I was not only vomiting into the toilet, but soiling myself at the same time. And I pledged
good times
that I would never throw up again, and I never did. I guess it was a PTSD thing. So I didn't throw up.
He got post-traumatic stress disorder from shitting himself. He got post-traumatic stress disorder because he crapped his own pants, friends.
Again until Tuesday. Somehow I've had this mind. I had martial arts training in high school, so I had mind over matter, and I could force myself to send it out the back end. I'm trying to be very discreet here.
Oh, so instead of puking, he would just take a dump. Oh, this makes sense.
But I forced myself to not ever throw up. So once I actually did throw up, I realized, it's a lot less bad than when you're a kid. As long as you do it into a sink or a disposal or a toilet, you can get rid of the smell really fast. You get rid of the taste really fast.
Oh, yeah, puking's not so bad.
It's actually not that bad. I don't know why I was so afraid of this. It felt very natural and healing. But it also very, very
healing
brought up these parallel life memories.
Yeah.
It appears in these parallel life memories that I was profoundly abused, that this abuse was sexual in nature as well as ritual in nature.
Yeah, he got for those unaware, David Wilcock previously claimed, and of course I'm paraphrasing, that he got butt banged by reptilian aliens who then, I don't know the order, but apparently he claimed that he was butt banged by aliens and then they would eat him and then they would bring him back to life. Or maybe they ate him first, or maybe they chewed on him while they were butt banging him and then they killed him and then they brought him back to life after the butt banging sessions. Nice.
So I've been through all this stuff that I'm out there speaking out about, and that's probably something that sets me apart from most of the other people exposing this. I was brought into this group. I was suffering through black magic, ritual abuse, bloodletting ceremonies, all this kind of stuff. I personally endured.
Where was his parents? He claims this happened when he was a child. Where were your parents? You're basically saying that your parents let this all happen to you, which is despicable.
Plus, it appears that I was actually being killed and resurrected as well.
There you go.
You find out that one of the technologies they have off of the ships allows you to even be beheaded, and you put the head next to the body and you zap the person with this beam, and the head will grow back onto the body, and then you come back to life and you reincarnate into your body,
Oh, wow.
and that can create an alternative personality.
Oh, well, there you go. See, he was butt banged, and then they cut off his head, and then they put his head near his body, and they zapped it, and he was just brought back to life. He doesn't even have a scar.
Vincent Mellon, fan since 06. Well, actually, we will say no to that. So thank you anyway. We already know what's going on here. We are being trolled unimaginably seriously.
Not enough. I think we should snipe stream him on the next show.
And that was obviously another example of this. Stephen and his little band of friends are very, very, very active right now.
Oh, me and my band of friends. I was busy on Sunday. I didn't listen to your stupid shit show. I didn't type anything in your live chat. But I can't control what other people do. But he's blaming all the trolling on me and my merry band. What did he say? Merry band of friends.
And that was obviously another example of this. Stephen and his little band of friends are very, very, very active right now. So anyway, thank you.
Again, a false accusation. I had nothing to do with anybody trolling his live chat, his Twitter, his YouTube comments. You know, I'm busy living my life. And usually on Sunday, I'm doing something with my family. I'm not going to interrupt my family time to mess with this moron.
Thank you anyway, and thank you for the money, even though we know who you are. It's nice to get a little bit money back from the guy who's been stealing my money.
Another false accusation. I never stole any money from David Wilcock. You're going to have to take this video down too, David, and issue a written apology.
So anyway, yes, this is very personal for me. I want to see these people free because I had no control over this. I never made a choice. I never said, I want to do this. I was dragged into it. I was abducted, either by car or by UFO, which again, we're going to learn in the future.
Where was his parents when somebody was abducting him and throwing him in a car or a UFO?
Stuff is very real.
It's not real.
Put through horrendous torture, including executions, to create alternative personalities and all this kind of stuff. But then they would bring me back into my body, and when I would get spliced back in, I'd have a very intense fever, which might, again, have been from the result of them drugging me. And I had all these dreams,
Oh my
and
God.
when I would take psychedelic drugs, I would start drawing things that almost always indicated ritual abuse.
Yeah, so the reptilian aliens, they drugged him before. Did they drug him before they butt banged him or after they butt banged him? Sounds like after. Like first they butt bang you and then maybe they feel bad. Do they give you like an ass anesthetic since they messed up your ass while they were butt banging you? How does this work? When they're banging you in the butt, the reptilians, do they, I guess they give you some ass anesthetics when they're done using your butthole, right? I mean, I'm trying to make sense of this. That's all I'm trying to do. He says he got butt banged by reptilian aliens. Now he's saying he was drugged after he was brought back to life. Jesus Christ, this is ridiculous.
Hatred, unforgiveness is fear.
Okay, here's a funny story. So some time ago, David Wilcock showed these coins, and he said, "You think I'm not getting top class?" And again, I'm paraphrasing. He said something like, "You think I'm not getting top secret briefings? Well, I got these challenge coins from the people that were giving me these top secret briefings, and you can only get them in top secret briefings." We found both the coins on Amazon. He's a moron. And here he is again, lying to 500,000 people, claiming that he's getting coins from top secret stuff when you can buy it on Amazon. I'll make it big so you can see it. You can buy it on Amazon. You can buy this coin that oh my God. And Macario said, Wilcock talking about his Colonel Insider that gave him this special challenge coin. You can only get this coin from an Air Force colonel. This 100% proves that David is telling the truth. And there we go. United States Air Force colonel rank challenge coin. You can buy it on Amazon for $17. David Wilcock, you are a lying, grifting scumbag. And we just caught you again lying to 500,000 people. How many times am I going to catch you lying to 500,000 people? You might be one of the world's biggest liars, because every time he lies, he's lying to 500,000 people, 500,000 subscribers.
What our friend the Colonel said. And this was his, as I said before, the challenge coin that he gave me because he's an Air Force colonel. This is his challenge coin. He actually got face to face with demons, and he interviewed the demon, and the demon said, "What I'm looking for in humans, who I can."
Oh, the colonel that gave me this coin that only colonels can have. Interview demons. Great, great.
Manipulate is hatred, unforgiveness, and fear. It was those three things.
Yeah, so busted again, showing people coins that anybody can buy. Anybody can buy these coins for $18 on Amazon. He's a moron.
Don't have to worry about.
And imagine how stupid his followers are to believe him. Oh yeah, he's getting coins from colonels.
If you took it, all you have to do is make it a little bit longer, and once we go through the first wave kills the nanotechnology. And that should be happening later this year.
Here he is giving false hope to stupid people. He's essentially saying that if you took I don't even want to use the word, if you took the preventative treatment for COVID-19, don't worry, because Ascension is going to burn that stuff out of you.
So also, even if you yourself didn't get quite to the level of Christ-like healing powers, many people will have those healing powers. And so once we go through this first wave, this reading we're going to read today talks about it again, the Yeruel reading. Some people will have those ascended Christ-like abilities, and they're going to be very busy going around and healing everybody.
Well, why does Stavati need to make med beds then? He was talking about Stavati making free energy devices, hover cars, and med beds. Well, if everybody's going to have Christ-like healing powers, what do you need med beds for?
So if you have damage from something that you took, they can heal all that damage. They can heal anything that's in your blood. They can heal anything in your organs.
False hope for stupid people.
Anything that's wrong with you, they will be able to reverse it. We're not going to need med beds. We're going to be able to do it hands-on because, again, we are going to transform into people who are like the great saints, sages,
great.
mystics, and teachers of yore.
Well, when this ascension happens, then we'll all have Christ-like healing powers. We should be able to levitate then, right? Because we're going to have the powers of the Ascendant Master. So why do we need a hover car? We could just levitate everywhere. Or bilocate. Or teleport. What do we need med beds for? If we could just heal everybody with our amazing healing powers. He always has these huge plot holes, and he doesn't even realize that the dumb shit he says makes no logical sense whatsoever.
That's where we're all going here, folks. It's an incredibly exciting future. So yes, it's not as if everybody that made the mistake is doomed. There are many, many people who made the mistake and are going to be just fine. And I'm going to be one of those people going around doing healings. And I expect that alone is going to make me very, very busy. Oh,
he's going to go around and do healings with his new superpowers. And, not for nothing, but how many superpowers are you going to get, David Wilcock? You already told everybody that you got telekinetic superpowers from taking baths in your own piss. Now you're going to get Ascendant Master healing powers and be running around doing healings for people when Ascension comes in May of 2025. So I guess we can expect to see you in like Children's Cancer Ward in June 2025. And if you're not, then that means you're lying to 500,000 people again. Archduke Instinct with a very kind and generous $25 super chat. Thank you very much. Longtime show supporter Archduke Instinct. This dude has superpowers from taking baths and pee. But out-of-date turkey took him out and had him vomiting. Yeah, all you need to take out David Wilcock is rotten turkey, right? Thank you, Archduke Instinct. Very good point. And thanks for being a show supporter for so long. He's only getting whacked in shady massage parlors. Yeah, the gay ones. He loves the gay ones, right? The gay bathhouses, the gay massage parlors, right? That's where I think all of his money's going, and I'm entitled to my opinion. Thank you, Mighty Pingus. He's only getting whacked in shady massage parlors. Thank you, Mighty Pingus. Criminal Restreamer with $4.99. He's risking the aliens returning to his PowerPoint presentation for edits. Yeah, they're going to want him to edit. You got to make better slides. We came all this way through all these star systems. Sahel says he doesn't have a lawyer because he's broke and he's bald. He doesn't have a lawyer because he's broke and he's bald. I agree, Sahel. Thank you for your kindness. And Jim Bob with a kind of generous $5 Canadian. Maybe he can call his Ascendant Master buddies to send him off-world. Yeah, then he doesn't have to go to court. That's a great legal strategy, Jim Bob. You ought to email him. Tell him to just take a spaceship, go to another star system, and wait it out. Thank you, Jim Bob, for your kindness. Much appreciated. Mighty Pingus with another one for the goal. Thank you so much, Mighty Pingus. I told the judge in my coke trafficking case that their subpoena to search my house was illegal, and it worked, Steve. You doubting Thomas? Yeah. Oh, you just tell the judge it was that it's illegal, and then they let you off. That's how the court system works, right? You just tell the judge this subpoena is illegal, and then you win, right? Garaji is here and says he also doesn't understand the difference between a witness and a defendant. Witnesses are frequently subpoenaed for depositions. I know. I got subpoenaed as a witness in several cases while I was working for that company in the pre-legal department. The Fifth Amendment protects against criminal jeopardy and criminal self-incrimination, not civil suits and testimony. Exactly. Which means either he's a moron or his lawyer's a moron or they're both morons. But thank you for pointing that out. Robert P. with a kind and generous 5 says, filthy aliens. I know. Those filthy aliens were using David Wilcock's butthole. But look, they were nice reptilian R's, right? Because after they were done using his butthole, they gave him some anal anesthetics, right? Bobby Bickle says, if you snipe Wilcox, I'll give 5 subs on Kick. Well, there's a problem with that. I am going to my cabin this weekend, and I believe he's broadcasting at 2 p.m. And that's a very kind offer. Bobby Bickle says he'll gift 5 subs if we snipe Wilcox stream. I will do that anytime that I'm home and able to do it. In the next couple of weeks, I should be home for a weekend. We'll see. But I can't do it because I'm usually packing up and leaving the cabin around the time he starts his streams. And I, due to my visual problems, I really don't like driving at night. I do everything I can to avoid driving at night. So like tomorrow night, I have to drive at night to get to the cabin. But, I just take it slow and easy and I'm okay. But I don't want to drive home in the dark too. And I'd have to in order to do that. I promise you, as soon as I'm able to do it, we'll do a stream at the same time he's doing one, and then we'll go snake his stream because it'll be funny. Just trying to catch up with the live chat, and look at that. Wacky Shuck, who's already themselves a Praise the Cash member, has done an incredibly generous thing, folks, and gifted 10 Truth Seekers memberships. Can't thank you enough, Wacky Shuck. And this, my friends, is why I should remind you that you got to smash that subscribe button. Because when a kind and generous soul like Wacky Shuck gifts these memberships, and he just gifted 10 of them, 10 people in the live chat got a chance to win one. The way I understand it is, if you're in the live chat and you're not a subscriber, you're not eligible for a gifted membership. But if you're in the live chat and you're a subscriber, but not yet a channel member, and a kind and generous soul like Wacky Shuck gifts this many free memberships, they get randomly distributed to people in the live chat who are subscribers to our channel here, but not yet become Truth Seekers members. And when you're a member, you get a member badge in the live chat, priority reply in the comments in live chat, and you also get some extra goodies in our members section. And thanks to the kindness, generosity, and support of Wacky Shuck, 10 people just got a free Truth Seekers membership, including the Political Chad. The Buddha Hasso Boston Sports got a free membership. Sean Dog 26, Devoured Eagle, Mechanic Drew, Duty Streams got a free membership. ACH got a free membership. Oh, and welcome Duty Streams. Good to see you here. Stokes got a free membership gifted by Wacky Shuck. Trigger Point and Mr. Don Motorsport, they all got free Truth Seekers memberships. So thank you very much, Wacky Shuck, for your kindness, generosity, and support. Much appreciated. Let's get some more gifted subs and expand our members list, friends. Charles McDonald with one for the goal. Or maybe not. A kind and generous $4 Canadian, maybe with the exchange rate. I hate his hair and his face. Yeah, I'm not a big fan. Tyblee says shout out Duty, and Criminal Restreamer says let's go Duty. Yeah, we've got D- DSP detractor royalty. Truth seekers, truth truth seekers doesn't have to eat loose meat sandwiches, dude. Yeah, actually, isn't mamwich considered loose meat sandwiches? I really don't like mamwich. My mother used to make mamwich sandwiches all the time, and I would be like, oh no, I just don't like the sauce. Now, if you just took regular ground meat and put it on a roll, I would probably be okay. I would probably eat it. But something about that sauce doesn't appeal to me. And in the Midwest, that's what they call a loose meat sandwich. It's basically mamwich. And for those for those in other countries, it's basically ground meat and a sauce, and you put it on a roll. I've never liked those kind of sandwiches. But let's continue here through the madness of Wilcock.
But again, part of what we see is that there's nanotech that seems to give you a MAC address similar to an IP address, and it will change the MAC address. This is all discussed in Book 7 of Michael Prophecies, way beyond the scope of what I can get into here. But yes, there appear to be little microprocessors that people got.
He's saying that if you got a COVID-19 shot, you have little microprocessors in you. And again, this sounds like the ramblings of a paranoid schizophrenic, mentally ill man.
And it's not very complex. It's basically like tagging you like a cow, and chattel, again, treating you like a slave, like you got a tag in your ear.
It's not very advanced, but it's a tiny, tiny microprocessor that could go in your body undetected, but it's not very advanced. Again, with the plot holes, the things he says make absolutely no sense whatsoever.
David, has Jack Sarfati ever took a Wilcock? I don't know here. I think that's probably somebody we can safely say, yeah, bye-bye. So anyway.
He's got to ban anybody that asks a question.
That's a pornographic remark. The trolls are now deciding to donate $2 in order to try to get my attention. So, yeah, we do have people who are very bitter about this. They like the negative, and they don't want their reptilian friends to starve. I'm happy to serve in any capacity that they want me to do. And I am literally helping to bring in the Christ consciousness to Earth.
That's what he's doing. No, Christ consciousness does not involve a false prophet lying about speaking to an angel and then charging people $333. You false prophet, lying scumbag, grifting dirtbag. Somebody that was helping with Christ consciousness would not constantly get caught lying. Somebody who knew anything about Christ consciousness would not falsely accuse somebody of being a child worshiping predator of children and a terrorist and a stalker and a serial harasser and an extortionist and a thief. They wouldn't accuse somebody falsely of that without any evidence whatsoever. You are nothing. You are nothing like anybody that even understands Christ consciousness, let alone can help other people with it.
To bring in these angelic ETs, which of course that's all low-hanging fruit for trolls. But actually it's funny because he mentioned that I did meet with Jack Sarfati.
Yeah, he's another big fat wackadoo. I asked Jack Sarfati for an interview once, and he sent me completely and totally fake videos and pictures of aliens for like 6 months and never gave me the interview. And I mean the stupidest, fakest shit you could possibly see. Jack Sarfati is a complete and total moron and an idiot. I don't care if he's a scientist, he's an idiot. He believes everything is real when it comes to aliens.
And he was highly impressed with my research.
Okay, so another wackadoo was impressed with your fake shit. He's impressed by the alien autopsy interview, you dumbass.
So it wasn't anything sexual like he was implying by making a joke out of my name, but yes, I did meet with Jack Sarfati, and
maybe Jack Sarfati and David Wilcock butt banged each other. You never know. Jack Sarfati looks like the butt banging type, and so does David Wilcock. Maybe they got together and they had a butt banging party. Who knows? And I better stop saying that BB, because I'm definitely getting demonetized if I keep saying BB. I'll just say BB from now on. You guys know what I mean. Jack Sarfati and David Wilcock almost for sure were BBing each other.
He was very interested in my take on sacred geometry and physics.
No, I think he was very interested in your butthole. That's what I think. but I'm entitled to my opinion.
And I think that what I'm doing is unparalleled. There's nobody else doing this. That's why I get so much opposition. That opposition, again, includes the subpoena. They're demanding more and more.
He made slides. I got a subpoena. My attorney has had ongoing negative greetings.
At the same time, my attorney has had ongoing horrific negative greeting. It has greatly delayed my ability to respond. My attorney's mother, I assume she's deathly ill. She's been in the emergency room, I guess, since Thursday or Friday. So we haven't been able to respond yet. We have not yet filed our motion to quash, but we still might. I already talked about all this stuff.
Yeah.
David, is Jack...
You're going to court, dude. You're going to do that deposition. You're not getting out of it, dude. You're not getting out of it.
See, Secretary of Defense Pete traveling tomorrow.
Here's the Macario says, moron again with the mass arrests and his dumb followers believing it, even though he says that they will be housing illegals there. Shadows of Ezra needs to come out and confirm he is sending these messages to David.
Good old you-know-what down there in Cuba.
Why can't he say Guantanamo?
It'll be his first trip since his confirmation. He will receive briefings on all mission operations at the base. All operations. Well, we know what the operations are going to be, and it goes far beyond the stuff that they're mentioning here. So we're going to hear some other news about this as well. This is really exciting.
This is not exciting.
And then it says here that they want to ensure the security and the operational effectiveness of what they are doing.
Yeah, and for those unaware, David Wilcock once said that the mass arrests just happened and that cargo containers full of prisoners on cargo barge ships were heading towards Guantanamo Bay. And of course, none of that was true. There was no mass arrests. There was no cargo containers. There was no ships. He just made it all up. Because that's what he does. He lies to morons and extracts every dollar he can from the morons of the internet.
Security means they got to keep it absolutely secret. Effectiveness means that they're going to need it to work. And you're going to find out a little later that just since the inauguration, they've already built 175 new buildings.
Where's he getting this from?
Who do they think is coming?
Well, according to real news sources, they plan on housing illegal immigrants during their deportation. So in other words, they're going to be rounding up illegal aliens. They're going to be taking them to Guantanamo Bay to house them there until they fly them to wherever their home countries are. That's what those things are for, you moron. Maybe you ought to watch some real news and stop getting your news from Q-tard Telegram channels and Q-tard 4chan posts. You moron.
Who's being invited later on? Well, you know. You already know. This is the stuff that's going to blow people out of Orange Ray, blow them out of the TV and into individuation. It's coming, folks, fast.
Yeah, the mass arrests are coming.
Here it is right here. Check this out.
See? This is where he's getting his news from. Q-tard posters. This is where he's getting this information from. Q-tard posters.
This was from this morning, I believe, or last night. They have massively expanded with over 175 new structures built.
I don't know if that's true, but I do know that according to real news sources, they were expanding the Guantanamo Bay facility to accommodate the deportation efforts that will soon be underway. That's what this is about. But Q-tard people take some seed of true, real information, and then they turn it into some kind of conspiracy. And morons like David Wilcock just regurgitate it without actually checking the real story behind the Q-tard poster.
Just since mid-January. Holy crap. And he's ensuring security and operational effectiveness.
Yeah, because they're going to be housing a lot of deportees. So, of course, if he's Department of Homeland Security and the deportations are part of Homeland Security, he would go and check and make sure that they had what they needed there. This is a normal governmental thing. This is not some big conspiracy, David Wilcock, but you're a moron and you see everything as a conspiracy, including the wind blowing at your house, turning into, I'm being attacked by weather weapons. Oh my God, the wind is blowing. I'm being attacked by CIA weather weapons. What a moron.
That's a lot of buildings, and they might be big buildings too. So we may be looking at hundreds of thousands of detainees. We might be looking at millions.
Well,
that's how many
illegal aliens are in the United States that Donald Trump wants to deport? Millions.
people, they're all going to have a big party and they're all going to have a big chat there, just like they had on the secure server. But, that they're all going to have to go through something. This is going to be unlike anything we've ever seen. And once these trials have happened, that's when we get the galactic family reunion. That's when we get the second coming of Christ.
Oh, after the mass arrests that he's been predicting since 1998, then we get the second coming of Christ. Well, what do we need? What is if the second coming of Christ is coming? Why do we need hover cars, David Wilcock? Why do we need free energy? Why do we need you to tell us what angels said? If Jesus is coming, we can get it direct from Jesus. We don't need a false prophet, lying, grifting scumbag who lies through his fake teeth every week for thousands of dollars to a bunch of morons. Morons. You know who sends David Wilcock money? Morons. Whose followers are dumber, David Wilcock's or Darkside Phil's? Definitely David Wilcock's followers are dumber than Darkside Phil's followers, in my opinion, anyway.
This coming Tuesday is a mandatory hearing in Congress. Everybody has to go whether they want to or not. This person is called Jack Straw, calling it the Great Revealing. It's
called a presidential address to Congress. They happen a lot.
Using my title from last week. Thank you. Thank you, Jim.
They got to spin every little thing up into some big conspiracy-laden event.
He announced he will be addressing joint Congress. Every member is told their presence is mandatory.
Yeah, when the president addresses Congress, they're supposed to be there. It's a big event. It's part of their responsibility. It's part of their duties as a congressman or a senator. There's no conspiracy here. He really is an idiot.
Why is this so interesting?
I bet you he flunked civics class. If he took a civics class, he would know that this is not a big deal.
Because in 1788, the Confederation Congress set the day March 4th for our new government under the Constitution to begin operating.
So there's a coincidence. So there's a coincidence. And I don't know did you listen to Trump's speech in Congress? It was basically a political speech in the middle and using Congress, as a backdrop, I guess, or like a prop. There was no huge conspiracy. There was no big revealing. These Q-tard people are really, literally, Q-tard people are retarded. I'm sorry. I know people don't like that word. It's the only word that fits. And David Wilcock is an all chips in Q-tard guy. He has been since 2016.
Of our first Congress, and this is absolutely a new government. So if everybody has to go, I am ready.
Did we miss that? This already happened. There's no new government, David Wilcock. It's the same government. Of course, some members of the government come in and out based on elections, but this is the same government that we had before the address. There is no new government. You're wrong to 500,000 people because all you do is read Q-tard posts like it's facts. It's not facts, you idiot. It's Q-tard nonsense.
For anything, maybe, and again, all we have to do is wait 2 days. So I hope it isn't a letdown, but let's find out.
It was a big letdown. It was nothing like you said. It was nothing like you and every other Q-tard, idiot, moron, retard said. Nothing big happened. There was no big revealing. There's no new government. There's no massive revelations. It's all one big letdown because that's all every Q-tard thing is, a big letdown. Nothing they say ever really happens, bro.
Really excited about this one. I don't know.
He's really excited about this big letdown coming. It was a nothing burger.
If everybody caught this one, so if you guys want to get excited about it, feel free. It's very, very happy for me.
He's very, very happy because he read some Q-tard poster, right? And I love how he just posts Q-tard stuff as if it's like real research. Just going on a Q-tard, X post and thinking it's facts means you're an idiot. Only an idiot would think that this is facts. It's fiction for morons. It's political fiction for morons, David Wilcock. That's what it is. Political fiction for morons. And congratulations, David Wilcock. You are a moron.
And this is a very important one. We're going to crunch in on it so you can read it a little bit better. When this list comes out, this is the ultimate...
More Q-tard nonsense.
...card. You can only play that card once. It has everybody that you want on it. and they have no way of recovering once it comes out. So you dangle it for weeks over their head. You watch as they confirm things, renegotiate, pass things. After you've squeezed them for every ounce of power and leverage you have, then you do it anyway. And well, I think that's a little bit of a violent line.
Yeah, and the so-called Epstein lift was another big letdown. Welcome to Q-Tard Letdownville, where every prediction they make turns out to be one big letdown, and the things they say never actually come true or happen. It's such covert intel that only all of Twitter can see it. Yeah, he's calling this covert intel.
Which I wouldn't say that, but he says that's how it's done. But again, it's not about revenge. It's about justice. That's how justice is brought about.
Yeah, on Q-Tard X posts. That's how justice comes about. Q-Tard X posts, right?
And this is a very important one. We're going.
Oh, sorry. Next one. We're almost through this. I'm sorry for the slop. We're almost through this. We'll take a moment to check in with the live chat and with our nightly goal. It's almost 10 p.m. It's almost time for Smart Guys with Triple P and Darkside Phil. I'm anxious to see if they're actually going to talk about anything exciting, like that boss bitch streamer girl stealing all of Phil's money, or my pig roasts, right? The Watcher says, I don't believe he has a 180 IQ. No, I would be surprised if he's even got 100 IQ, right? I'd be surprised if he even hit 100, right? They actually had to open the sunroof to let him in and sit upright. What is that about? What did I miss? David's sources are all screwball randos on the internet. Yeah, it's random people posting random stuff on the internet. But to Wilcock, this is great intel. This is intel. Macario says, it's funny how Wilcock talking about toxic mess being dumped where it shouldn't be. I believe Stephen Campion and John Christian Spadavacci talked about a little something Stavati has been doing. Yeah, here he's going to talk about illegal dumping toxic material. And Stavati just got, his shady aerospace company just got evicted from part of their facility because they were allowing a sewage company to illegally dump fill, whatever fill is, at that facility. And here he is complaining about people dumping toxic stuff. And meanwhile, his shady, scammy aerospace company was illegally letting a sewage company dump fill on their facility. So just to review, Stavati doesn't make airplanes, but they do let garbage companies put their dumpsters at that facility. And they do let sewage companies dump at their facility. That's their only income.
Because Calabasas has a landfill, and there's a level 1 and there's a level 2. Level 2 has a double reinforced bottom so that if you dump anything in there that's toxic, that it won't leach into the groundwater and it won't reintroduce into nature. It's got to be basically hermetically sealing toxic materials. But a level 1, like the one that we have in this particular city again, doesn't have that. You can have rainfall on it. The toxins go into the groundwater.
Ever notice he's an expert on everything? Like, he's literally talks like he's an expert on everything. Now he's an expert on environmental science.
And then you pump the groundwater into your house. And if you wash your hands in the sink, if you take a shower, if you drink the water, then you're getting highly toxic material. And this was actually decided by a judge. Nope, we're dumping it in there, and there's nothing you all peons can do about it.
Yeah, and in the case of Stavati, it was decided by a judge, David Wilcock, that your company was illegally letting a sewage company dump fill on that facility. And a judge decided to evict you. You got evicted because you're broke and you're bald and you're gay. All right. How many more? How many more, friends? How many more? 3 more. Thank God.
We need to finish the job. And I know that there's a lot of top influencers who don't acknowledge this.
Here he says he's the Walter Cronkite of the Alliance, which, of course, doesn't exist. The Alliance isn't real, David Wilcock. It came from the imagination of a senile old man who was a con artist, verifiable con artist that took part in stock pump and dump scams. That's who told him about this alliance he's so fond of that doesn't exist. A senile old man con artist.
They don't acknowledge that they're watching this show, but they get their news this way. I'm like the Walter Cronkite of the Alliance, basically, as other insiders have called me.
Who? What insiders have called you that? Show us them. Let us hear insiders of the government calling you the Walter Cronkite. Nobody's calling you the Walter Cronkite of anything. You're a grifting, scamming scumbag. You're not a reporter. You're a scumbag.
So you can get your news here, and this is the news they're telling you. Do not get complacent. Do not stay in your seat. Do not hide this stuff. You need to get out there and talk about it, just like I'm doing.
Yeah. And meanwhile, he says government insiders from the Alliance, and he thinks Shadows of Ezra is one of those government insiders, are calling him, David Wilcock, the Walter Cronkite of the Alliance. No, Shadows of Ezra says he didn't know who he was, but he sounds insane. That's what the so-called insiders of yours say. They don't know who you are, but that you sound insane.
I'm doing it carefully, but I'm absolutely doing it.
Yeah. Buffalo Spunk said, he said multiple times, Shadows of Ezra said multiple times that they don't know who David is. And who are the other insiders? The turkeys outside his house? And if he's talking to other people, how is it that he's also so isolated? The math ain't mathing, Davy boy. Yep, that's where it is.
This is another
And here, David Wilcock is just completely and totally profiting from the tragic death of an iconic American actor, spreading completely unverifiable conspiracy theories with no evidence whatsoever.
really strange thing, right? Like, why are they dead for weeks? How come nobody found them? What the heck is going on? The open pill bottle, something of concern. And as we go a little bit further along into the Alliance section, you're going to see that he was living right near where all of these negative activities were happening. So it's either one of two things. Either they knew they were going to be on there and they didn't want the public humiliation, they didn't want to be on trial, so they did it to themselves. Or,
to the best of my knowledge, Gene Hackman is not on any Epstein flight logger list.
Or he was going to be a whistleblower, he was going to be having a sassy mouth and speak out against them. And they said, oh, no, you're not. And they set the whole thing up. And I don't know which one it is, honestly.
You don't know which one it is, but you're going to put baseless conspiracy. What if that was your father or your grandpop or your uncle or your family member? Would you want the loser, scumbag, D-level celebrity, wannabe celebrity, spreading false conspiracy theories? And I agree with Macario. Macario says, David Wilcock is a piece of shit. He says Gene Hackman was either on the Epstein list or knew about people that were on it and never said anything. And now he's going to speak out, so they killed him. Defaming him after he is dead. Some spiritual guru defaming a dead iconic actor while collecting super chats like a dirty, greasy, grifting scumbag. Defaming after he is dead. I wonder what his family and friends would think about this. They would not like it, right? Okay. So we, my friends, have made it through. Yeah, we have made it through the shitstorm of nonsense bullshittery that is David Wilcock. Once again, we've made it through. I'll take a moment to catch up with the live chat. If you have questions or comments for me, please put them in all capital letters, and we'll be checking in with our nightly funding goal. I haven't looked in a while. I don't know where we're at. We're at 26 of 50. That is more than halfway there. And we did get 10 gifted memberships, though. So there's that. I really did want to look in on the Smart Guys show, but we've got a few minutes, so we didn't hit our goal yet. But maybe we still will. And I'm not a dirtball like Darkside Phil, so I think we'll still do the bonus material. I've got a little bit more time to share with you. So maybe we'll do the bonus looking in on Smart Guys and Darkside Phil and Ashton, Triple P, to see if they're going to actually talk about that, what's going on. And what's going on is that Phil's getting snaked left and right. This Boss Girl streamer is stealing his dents, and they're giving their money to her instead of him. And Darkside Phil is broke, and he's bald, And he's begging for pizza money because he's broke and he's bald. All right. And I'm going to need a little bit of a break here before we get to the bonus material for tonight. And see, I hope that you understand that even if we don't hit our goal a lot of the times, if I have the time, I'll do the bonus material. I don't want to really hold that over everybody's head. But we could use 24 kind and generous people to help us hit the goal. And I'm going to go over to Kick in the meantime. And we're going to check in with the Kick live chat. 1 second here. Here we go. All right. And boy, we've got Wood from the Hood 87. I'm just going to do some shout outs for the folks in the Kick chat. Sector is here. Clydesdale is here. Archduke Instinct is here. Winter's Soldier is here. Shout out to Winter Soldier and Clydesdale. Not too many people over there right now. Working Class Viewer, Ace King Suited, Wood from the Hoodie, and Clydesdale. Hi, Clydesdale. Good to see you over in the live chat. And we'll check in with the gifted subs over there. And it's good to see that we have some kind and generous people over on Kick. And for those unaware, if you gift a sub or you become a subscriber during the live broadcast, we give you a big shout out and a thank you. So big shout out and thank you to Boba1480, who gifted a subscription, and a big shout out to Clydesdale, who gifted 1 subscription. And yesterday we had Boba1489 gifted 2 subscriptions, Clydesdale gifted 1, and Acid Roach gifted 1, and before that Clydesdale gifted another 1. So thank you all for the kindness, generosity, and support. For those unaware, you can visit our Kick channel at kick.com. Truth Seeker Show. Is that a 1 second? Let me go to our channel just to be sure. It's kick.com/Truth Seeker Show. One Truth Seeker, the word show, all one word. And you can visit our Kick channel. We appreciate all the Kick subscribers and people gifting subs because of their kindness, generosity, and support. I actually got an extra paycheck last month. It's like getting an extra paycheck in the month. Instead of getting 4, I got 5 because I got an extra check from the kind and generous Kick viewers gifting subs and becoming subscribers. It's $5 to do that over there. And we appreciate every single one of you, especially because Kick only takes something like 3% instead of the usual 30 on other platforms. So we're liking Kick so far. We're going to take a short break. I always have to do this. The show is not over. 1 second. I'm just going to do a banner that says, sometimes when I do this and take a break, half the audience leaves. The show is not over. We'll be back after a short break. All right, so we'll put the banner up just so people know that we're not going anywhere. We're going to be back. Yeah, so the show is not over, and I've got a real Wacky World of Wilcock classic here to share with you. This is David Wilcock telling his story about how he got superpowers from taking a bath in his own piss. It's one of my favorites. I mean, it doesn't get much better than that. David Wilcock telling everybody, I peed in the bathtub and I got superpowers. So we'll let that play, and when we return, we'll be checking in with Triple P and Darkside Phil of the Smart Guys podcast. According to Triple P, they're going to be doing Grill Phil, so I'm here for it. So I want to thank all of you for hanging in here so far. I've got more to share with you, and I'll be back in just a moment.
Earth appears to be more about how you draw the telekinesis out of the earth. And I'm going to talk about this in the Ascension philosophy. I'm going to go in way more detail on the telekinesis exercises that Michael has been giving me telepathically. So, take it or leave it, whether you believe that this is true. But if he wrote a book in 1999 that's telling the future now, he's probably telling me the truth about how to get your telekinesis to work too. because it is actually getting results. I am getting it to work. I never ever thought this would happen. I never thought I would be able to develop this ability unless I died and ascended into some angelic being. But apparently it's happening to me first because it's going to be happening to you later on, and I'm here to tell you how to get ready for it. So this was a very, very strange one where I was in the tub, because another part of the thing is the telekinesis bathtub. So the telekinesis bath is one of the things that Archangel Michael has been making me do. I have to take a bath. I cannot take a shower. I am forbidden to take a regular shower. I am supposed to bathe, and I'm supposed to bathe every day, but only in a bathtub. And then another one of the really funny things is that you have to pee in the bathtub. He wants your DNA in the water. So I have been using scented oils. There's a perfume company out there that has some really wonderful stuff. I recommend, I'm not going to say what it is. I recommend, let's just say, okay, well, this one is generic enough. Even if you just do sandalwood and eucalyptus, those to me seem to be two of the most activating, because a lot of these compounds that smell really good have what are called sesquiterpenes, which are smell compounds that actually awaken your pineal gland. So sandalwood definitely, Palo Santo definitely, eucalyptus definitely. There's other ones that you can find. I would say just try it out and see what bath oils work for you. But the peeing part apparently is important because it's getting your DNA outside your body into a medium that touches your skin, which gets into this whole inside-out thing where you have to turn yourself inside out and become the universe. So apparently peeing in the bathtub is a good way to get you there. I don't know. I'm just following my instructions. I've noticed that there's an incredible amount of grief purging that goes on in the bathtub. Almost every time I take a bath, I'm releasing pain and sadness. And also, at least in the earlier stages, he wants you to stay in the bathtub until all the water drains out. So you gotta pull the frickin' thing and then sit in there, wait for the tub to drain out. It's a pain in the ass. But another big thing is that I've been healing my joints, and so when you're in the tub, if you have any issues with your joints where there's stiffness and pain, I've been doing rolfing very extensively, and it's all about finding the part of the range of motion that doesn't want to move. And then you fix that range of motion by actually working it. So it's similar to like physical therapy. And it turns out that I had enormous atrophy in my right leg. So another one of the things that Michael has been going into, and you're going to hear a lot more about this in Ascension Philosophy. This is the online course I'm going to be launching really pretty soon, because it looks like with my aerospace work that I'm going to have to be doing a lot of meetings and a lot of traveling. And so this is probably one of the last times I'm going to be able to do Sunday teachings week after week without being interrupted.
Yeah. And then he went on to do Sunday teachings week after week, begging for super chats for another year. And I just want to make sure that everybody understands that apparently I am under deep state weather weapon attack, because it's been very windy here at my house. And my wife never interrupts the show. She was going to interrupt the show. We had a small tree right in front of our house fall right on the roof, or right on the side of our house. So I must be under CIA attack, and I'm going to need some super chats to hire a tree guy. So, come on, guys. What do you think about Jesse Michaels? He is one of the worst grifting scumbags in the world of UFOs. He will platform anybody. Rufus says, thanks for the show. Thank you for being here, and thanks for your kind and generous $5. One for the goal, Rufus. Thank you. And we've got Dawn with 5. 5 from Dawn. We're going to hit this goal. See, I know we're going to hit the goal because I was kind enough to say, even if we don't hit the goal, we're going to do the bonus material. Thank you, Dawn. Big show supporter. Big ups to Dawn. The end is near, beware. How dare you question Wilcock's powers? He can puke without shitting now. I got to go into DSP mode. This tree guy is going to cost me thousands of dollars. Not really. I'm going to cut it up with my own chainsaw, but I can tell you guys that I need a tree guy and get some money out of it. So, right? Gabber Beast TV. Wear a tinfoil hat to stop all the deep state do satellite attacks while having a bath in your own urine with the tinfoil hat on. Zero, thank you. Zero with 5. He releases pain in the bathtub as he relieves himself. Does he have gonorrhea? Yeah, I think so. I mean, he is gay, right? Maybe he's got some STDs. What did we used to call it? We used to call it. We had this saying when I was younger that somebody had like gonorrhea, syphilis, herpes, and AIDS all at the same time, and chlamydia. Where is the crack? I'm hungry, says for his mud bath, use tulip juice and rubber gloves. All right. Let me go over and find the smart guys. DSP reacts. And I don't know what's going on. I thought Triple P was on vacation. Where is it at? Maybe that was an old post that I saw. Are they not doing a show? Damn it. I thought they were doing a show at 10 p.m. Oh, it's still upcoming. March 6, 2025 at 10 p.m. Well, it's 10:08 p.m. Where are they at? They're not here. Oh, leave it to DSP to be late to his own show, right? But hey, in the meantime, we'll just read super chats. So everybody throw those super chats at me. I have to fill time. And I can think of no better way to fill time than by reading your kind and generous donations and contributions. I'm really kind of pissed off though, because all my chainsaws are at the cabin. And the last time we had something like this happen, a huge bunch of branches of this huge monster tree on the side of our house fell down into the street. And it was late at night. It was raining like hell. And it was dark. And I had to go out there with a handsaw and clear the road. Like the cops came and they're like, you have to clear this off the road. I'm like, I don't have the tools for this right now. All my stuff is at the cabin. You think I would have brought at least one chainsaw home after that happened? No, I'm stupid. They're all at the cabin. I don't really need a chain. I very, very rarely need a chainsaw here at my house, but I always need them at the cabin, so I keep them there. 0 with 5. He releases pain in the bathtub and relieves himself. Does he have gonorrhea? This one's from Patty M. Says, trolly troll troll. Well, thank you for your kindness. And we have another $2 from Jim Bob, who says, good time, Steve. Always a good laugh. Well, thank you for that. We appreciate it. And they're late to their own show. There's no show. Where's the show? Leave it to Darkside Phil to be lazy and late to his own show. He's 10 minutes late to his own show. And you know they're going to play like 30 minutes. They might play 20 or 30 minutes of bumpers, right? Oh, it just flashed. Solo stream is better than no content at all. So what happened? Maybe somebody couldn't make it. Year of the Snake. I can chat. Darkside Phil is a scumbag who is late to his own show. True Seeker's show is so much better. Maybe we should snipe his. Yeah, let's go over there. I'll put the link. You guys can go over there and tell him that he should do a second interview with Truth Seekers, right? He'll love it. He'll love it. I'll put it in the live chat. Tell him Truth Seekers says stop begging. Tell him Truth Seekers says stop begging. And there's the link there. And I see we have some more kind and generous friends in the live chat. Thank you so much for that. Yeah, Jim Bob, good times, always a good laugh. Thank you for your kindness and your support. Farty McFly, how am I supposed to read that? My pagan forever Pallades. I don't know what that says. Hi, pagan Sephiroth Pallades. Are you just messing with me, making me say weird shit? Oh, let's see. I'll change this and I'll finish sending my message. I was writing. Where is it at here? Yeah, I wrote Darkside Phil is a scumbag who is late to his own show. True Seeker show is so much better. I'm gonna get banned. Somebody's over there and says True Seekers won. John Carlo Reyes said True Seekers won. Yeah, my show was on time. I am almost never late to a show. Friends, if I say I'm going to be here at 7 o'clock, unless there's really occasionally something weird will be going on, it's usually some weird tech problem. Like one time my mic wouldn't unmute and I had to reboot my computer, so we didn't go till 7:03 or something like that. But if I say I'm going to be here, I'm here. I am here. Wow, Ty Blee with a kind and generous $20. Thank you very much. Praise the AMD 9070 XT. Check it out. Any chance I could come help at the cabin sometime? I'll bring some tools. I have a small solar charger, tent, etc. I'd love to help build the hideaway. Don't live far from you. Ty Blee, I will talk to you off air. Email me at truthseekershow@gmail.com. Send me your cell phone number or a way for me to call you and contact you. And it's a shame that I have to say this, but I do. I have had several people from the show come and visit, and in most cases that went fine. But in one case, somebody was a hardcore drug user, and I don't deal with that. So 420 friendly. You want to drink some beers or whatever, have some alcohol. That's fine with me. But I refuse to have anybody visiting my cabin who's like doing anything harder than cannabis and alcohol. And I'm sorry that I even have to say that, but that kind of stuff kind of wigs me out. I don't like it. And to each their own. I mean, if you want to indulge, go ahead, but you're not going to do it basically at my second house, right? But thank you, Ty Blee, for your kindness. I'd be happy to have some help. If you actually want to help, I have a lot of projects at the cabin. Do you know how to work a framing gun and build like 2x4 frames for walls? That'd be helpful. Do you know how to mix cement? That'd be helpful. Deep State Agent is here. Here is your weekly payment for securing the $4,000 from Wilcock since you didn't show up to headquarters. Thank you very much, Deep State Agent. You know David Wilcock's going to make a slide about this shit, right? Talk about that. He's going to see that. Where is this show? Oh, here's the show. Chat as a subscriber. When is Darkside Phil doing his second interview on True Seekers? Oh, this is funny. Oh, he muted me or something. He had to have, because it doesn't show me my user ID. He muted me. What a pussy. What a pussy. I think so. I can check for sure. Go in an incognito window and see if my message is there. I don't think it is. Yeah. He muted me. What a pussy. Darkside Phil, dude. Do you need Darkside Phil? You like literally have a vagina. Kevin Auld is over there and says Steven is king. Just my luck. The one time I catch a smart guy stream is when they have tech issues. Yeah, and you know why they're having tech issues? It's not Triple P's fault. It's not Acid's fault. Darkside Phil is a moron, and he's been live streaming for 16 years, but he doesn't know how to do it. He doesn't know how to work OBS because he's an idiot. He's dumb as rocks. Look, it's 16 minutes past showtime. Still no show. Right? And I'm sorry for this kind of slop, right? That this is the bonus material. We're waiting for them to figure out how to start the stream. And I asked Pete earlier, I said, he's making you work on your vacation. I guess that boss bitch streamer really is taking all his money. No reply from Triple P. What is going on? Did Pete? I'm checking to see if P. No, P didn't. He didn't tweet anything. Reptard. Wow, look at that. Bond villain cult leader Phil Keno. No, Mr. Cambion, I expect you to die. Like somebody said, this is him thinking about me. No, Mr. Cambion, I expect you to die, right? Is this show ever starting? This is terrible. Waiting for DSP Reacts at 10 p.m. Does anybody know what's going on? I'm not allowed to chat over there because he doesn't like free speech. He's a pussy. he is an intellectual weakling and a coward who, like David Wilcock, cannot withstand any debate whatsoever. We are the Dark Alliance. Yes, we are. You have offended the cult leader, Stephen. Yes, I have. I've offended him. And look at this. We're at 29 of 50 for tonight's goal. We just need 21 more, and we will hit the goal tonight. And then my children don't have to eat a lunch meat sandwich tomorrow. Like, I'll be able to buy them a Happy Meal. Don't you want my children to be happy? They're not real happy when they're eating a lunch meat sandwich, right? PPPs isn't working or something. Well, he's on vacation. Or I thought he's on vacation. I don't know. Phil's TISM schedule is threatened. Yes, it is. Well, the good news about that tree dropping in front of my house is that we have these huge bow windows. They must be like 8 feet tall in the whole front of our house. And this tree fell over by the root and hit the house, but it didn't break any windows. I have to survey the damage as soon as the stream is over. And that's fun because, it's dark out and whatever. My wife's worried about having to call the insurance company or something because there may be damage to the roof. Somebody's got to look at it. Oh, okay. Peerdo89 says, Triple P is back home. He just got back. Wow. Guy just comes back from vacation and Phil's working him so that he can collect super chats off of Triple P's talent. Nobody sends super chats to that show unless Triple P entertains them, because Phil is about as entertaining as watching paint dry, right? We saw in that stream last night. Oh my God, he's so boring, that guy. He's just so boring. Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. Oh, it flashes every once in a while, and I think it's starting. All right, so maybe we can't blame it on Darkside Phil being a moron. I don't know. I do know that Triple P's not very tech savvy or something. Like, I think Andy Worski runs the Keno show and stuff. I don't think he's very tech savvy. Phil's PC broke. He's going to need exactly $1,000 to get it fixed. People are busting their balls. Smart guys canceled, says Archduke Instinct. Yeah, it's canceled. It's canceled. But Darkside Phil can't cancel because he's broke and he's bald and he needs the donos. So late, so gay, says Berserker. Stone Cold E.T. would like some little White Castle cheeseburgers and a little extra cheese. Oh, hell yeah. Oh, here we go. It's starting. And they're only 21 minutes late for their own show. Are they going to play the bumpers for like an hour? They're going to play the bumpers for forever. Really long bumpers before they start, I think. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. I haven't watched this in a while. Triple P's been on vacation. I hope he had a good one. All right. I am now banned in multiple Darkside Phil chat rooms. I'm banned on his Kick Chat. I'm banned on this channel. I'm banned on the other. I'm banned on all the channels now. Can't say anything. Weaponized wind, dude. Yeah. Yeah, David Wilcock has his own weather weapon, and he pointed it at my house, and it made a tree fall on my house. I'm going to need some super chats. We got to hit the goal so that I can hire a tree guy. I'm not hiring a tree guy. But I can say I am. I'll take pictures of it falling over like it is. I don't even know when the hell that fell on my house. It was there this afternoon. It was just... And it's a shame because it's a Japanese maple tree. It's a beautiful tree. It's a little, small Japanese... Well, small. It's 20 feet high, but... It's a beautiful Japanese maple tree. And I love Japanese maple trees, so I'm kind of sad that it's, fell over. We're down to just a few trees left on our property. Last year we cut down these 2 huge trees that were on the side of our house because they were in danger of falling on our house. One was kind of rotten, and some of the big branches came crashing down into the street, so we got those chopped out. Multiple bands, I made it. By the way, Phil stocked Triple P well on vacation to get him to come do the show. Duty had a video on it. Stocked him? Stocked him about... What do you mean, stocked him? What does that mean? He stocked Triple P well on vacation. Stalked, do you mean? And the stream froze. Oh, no. 15 years of this clown. That's 14 and a half years too much. And this show is not about wrestling. I agree with Triple P. It's about fucking with Phil. But Phil's too dumb to realize it. I put my fair use banner up. This is fair use, transformative work and all that. We're going to be... making fun of Darkside Phil, so that makes it a transformative work. Yeah, he stalked Triple P to hurry up and come home and do a show because he needs money. The only way he's definitely going to hit a goal or get any money... Oh, look at that. There's no P.
What is going on, everyone? Welcome to the show. We already have technical issues.
Serious technical difficulties are assailing the stream. How shitty is my mic, Phil?
Your mic actually sounds good, and I actually have you on screen. No, it actually looks good.
Way. No
Can't believe it.
We did it after more than a half hour of me loafing, ghosting, and snaking Phil. I finally made it to the show!
Yeah!
Let's go!
The big return show!
It's the return of PPP! Finally!
And we still need 21 more to hit the goal. I will read every super chat.
Guys.
Thank you, guys.
No one misses me. I never leave. I'm always here. But you're coming back here.
You're always here, Phil. You need a vacation, bud. You gotta go to the zoo or whatever.
The zoo.
Is that what they're saying? You gotta go to the zoo, buddy?
Gotta go to the zoo. For some reason, this is like a thing. They want me at the zoo.
No,
with
he
my
seems
wife,
like a massage
documenting every
parlor
moment.
guy.
Hey, you were gonna go to the zoo with your wife, Phil?
Yeah, like 5 years ago.
And then why didn't you go?
Because we didn't get there. For whatever reason. I don't even remember originally.
An hour away, Phil.
I know, it's not even an hour away.
What are you, being a loafy, lazy piece of shit like me?
That's right,
And not showing up on time to the zoo, Phil?
Well, for me, it's because life gets in the way.
Yeah, I want P's schedule. He works for like 4 weeks and then he goes on a week-long vacation. And then during like Christmas, they went a few
For you,
weeks
it's because
vacation.
wireless gets in the way, so.
But listen, this fucking Lesbo Lex showed up to the zoo. Why can't you?
Oh,
I didn't even know
Lesbo
that.
Lex.
Again, I'm so
You
out of the
have
loop
no
with all that shit.
idea, but you're seething about it
idea.
all week long. You're seething.
He's seething
that
about
Iron
it.
Chef Kakai gave. I told you not to trust him.
Oh, and I
told
didn't.
you.
He didn't.
I
He got
told
nothing.
you.
He got no.
Snake, buddy.
He got no sword back. He got nothing. Nothing at all.
More money he sent to this Lesbo. What are we doing, bud?
You gotta wonder whose money it is, actually. The amount that he's dropping at this point, it's like, where's that money coming from? I don't know if it's where it could.
It was okay when it was coming to you, though. Now that it's coming to somebody else,
maybe it could be like some Middle Eastern oil money or something. Yeah.
No, Phil, no.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Okay, well, we're back here on Smart Guys.
He did look like Curly from the Three Stooges.
Yes.
Heel turn. Speaking of Year of the Snake,
Yes.
we have had the heel turn of the century, a generational heel turn, up there with Hulk Hogan turning heel.
Oh, are they really going to just talk about wrestling?
Maybe
it's supposed to be a Grill Phil.
Heel turn of all time, depending on how it.
I'm done spending an obscene amount of money on takeout every week.
Hold on. Christ. He have his ads turned up to annoyance level maximum. There's like 2 minutes of show before an ad. And there was an ad in the beginning. Like, I don't understand people that have their ads turned up that high. People complain about mine. Mine are set to balanced, so. Jim Bob with 1 for the goal. Now we only need 20, so thank you. Steve, since I started watching your exposure of the UFO grifters, I see them on other podcasts and just think, if the interviewer only knew. Yeah, it works due to ignorance, and also some of the interviewers play along. They know they're full of shit, but it gets views, so they play along. But thanks, I'm glad that we were able to educate you in that way, Jim Bob, and thank you for your kindness. $5 Canadian, we'll take it. 1 for the goal. I think they changed Grill Phil to the end. Oh, man, I'm not sitting through wrestling, guys. I'm sorry. I have zero interest in wrestling.
2009.
Let's catch up.
Between Rock and Cena at WrestleMania. And everyone said matches were good. Can you imagine how fucking good they would have been if Cena went heel on The Rock instead of face versus face, which they just wanted to keep doing over and over.
And Cena in interviews and stuff has said,
oh my God, they're really going to talk about wrestling?
Prepared to turn
this is so boring.
Boring.
I'll steal something from Triple P. Boring alert! Boring alert!
Evil shit, honestly, at that time.
Right.
Remember when he cuckolded Zack Ryder?
Yes,
Zack Ryder wanted to get with that Eve girl.
Oh.
Right.
Cena was like,
did the counter stop?
Bro.
Really?
That's my girl now. And, you know, it was brutal, the burial of Zack Ryder. Remember?
Oh, yeah, the counter stopped.
Down the stairs. Yep.
But,
okay, so the counter stopped. We're at 33 for the goal. Thank you for counting them. So we need 17 more to hit the goal. Thank you for letting me know. I didn't even know the counter stops at 3 hours. Yes.
And to a certain
Thank you for letting me know. I had no idea. I didn't even know the counter stopped. Thanks for letting me know. It's still real to me. It's still real to me.
No matter who was chosen to be the next big face of the company. And Cena,
oh, this is boring as shit. They really are going to talk about wrestling.
With what he was given. That being said, that period of WWE,
their views are in the shitter since they stopped the Grill Phil too. Has anybody else noticed that?
So
how many viewers do they have?
It was so
309 viewers. They used to have 500 when they did the Grill Phil in the beginning, I think. As best I recall.
It still had a great edge to it. There were still like a lot of really amazing superstars to watch.
And hey, if you haven't already, our new Truth Seekers Clips channel is pinned in the live chat. Please, for the love of God, go over there and subscribe. All these people wanted a Clips channel. I did one. I've been working very hard. It's extra work every week to upload more clips. Every week I'm uploading more clips. And we've gotten very little support over there. We need to get that to 1,000 subscribers so we can monetize it. So please help. Go over. Just click over and subscribe and come right back.
Lame fucking promos ever.
Wrestling talk.
Once I became a teenager,
boring.
I just rebelled against it completely. Thought it was total fucking shit.
A lot of people did.
Supported.
Yeah, you're right.
Just tuned out forever.
Triple P is the talent.
Real question with this heel turn.
Yeah, DSP is definitely the Ed McMahon of this duo, right?
About 15 years too late,
right,
for it to have really changed the industry.
His shirt is king.
You know what I mean?
Well,
so
no, totally.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Phil's final boss.
I think what happened, yes. This is my take. I don't know how many people have shared this take. I feel
MAGA for Palestine with a kind and generous $5 says hello. Hello to you, and thank you for your kindness.
Thing, and you had
that's
the
30.
Loss of Eddie Guerrero. And those two things hit them so hard that they didn't know how they were going to continue on with that
We
kind
need
of
12
product.
more to
And
hit
so
the
they
goal.
just went cold turkey.
TBS
PG.
shout
And
out.
when they did that, yes, it was
I
profitable.
gotta have
in
my
some
own
ways for
triangle.
merch
Yeah,
sales,
I
but
don't
it
want to rip him off though. That's
completely
his
destroyed
thing.
the
That's like
company
his
and changed
gimmick.
what
I
they
don't want
were
to rip off
about,
his
the type of
gimmick.
product that the fan and viewer wanted to see. So it became WWE, but for a different audience. And then they were so afraid to break away from that because they didn't want to get that negative stigma back of what had happened in those early to mid 2000s, that they just stuck with it for like forever. Even when every time they teased it, oh, Cena's going to go heel. This is going to be good. Never would they do it.
This is
And
so
even
boring.
CM Punk comes in and he's going to be the voice of
Bad.
the voiceless and all that. But even then, it's like they always pulled back from being Attitude Era again. And so now, 15
All right, I'll
plus
start a new
years
goal for the
later,
other 17.
to
That's
have
what we'll do.
Cena have this turn, they are dropping F-bombs on the show and
that
everything.
Oh, we
I
need
thought
16
that was
more.
really interesting to have that barrier broken, right? And then
I'll
right
just do
after
15.
Cena turns heel. It was almost as though, but the problem is it's not really a new era. You know what I mean? It's not really like they're going like full bore again, especially with what we saw in the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view with Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens, and how fake and how phony and how lame it was with the barbed wire, the lack of blood,
All right,
the
there we
lack
go.
of real
We
violence.
reset the goal
And
so
that's
we
where,
can
to me, it's
hit
like,
the original
okay,
goal by
you're
getting
trying
15
to
more.
pretend like this is a real change and things are going to be different.
Do
But
people
at the
really
same
care
time,
about
it's the same
wrestling
old
still?
product. And that match
I don't
really
know.
exposes
I haven't
the
since I was a
limitations
child.
of WWE.
They
And
weren't
actually
reading the
made
chat.
me long for AEW
I
to
only
get its
watched
shit
WWE
together.
for movies.
Wow.
Remember
Because to
Glow?
me,
I
it's
remember
like,
that
I
shit
think
when
we
I was a
can't
kid. I
have a
watched that.
match
That was fun.
where there's a real issue, where there's a real, like, this is going to be fucking brutal, and there's going to be blood, and there's going to be chair shots.
If I got my own triangle, yeah, maybe. Who
I think they
knows?
should just get rid of the chair shot, Phil, because they have to bend over like.
Oh, I use these roll your
It
own.
looks so fucking
I either
fake,
use
so
Bugler
phony.
or
They have to
American
sit there with
Spirit,
their back
and I
bent
roll my
over,
own.
getting hit with this fucking chair.
I'm trying to vape
If you can't do it
instead.
because of concussions and brain damage, fine. But it's time to then move on from that completely.
I think it's the same thing with the ladders. The ladders look crappy now. Like when they break,
Yeah,
you can
because you
tell
guys
they've
are
been
like
pre-cut
refined
nothing
and
looks real anymore
intelligent.
like it used
Americans
to
are
back in the
idiots.
day.
We love
That's
it
'cause
all.
back in the day there
We
was
love
that
idiot
element of risk.
entertainment.
These guys
That's what we
were
love.
actually possibly going to get destroyed during the match. Look at Mick Foley, right? But now you know those era is over, but they still want to pretend like that element of risk is there when we all know that it's just going to be a really faked thing. I have to agree with you there. Why even do the hardcore matches anymore?
That's the thing, is it's like you're promising something that can never come. It's like when they would do the segments on the WWE ECW of strip poker.
I heard he's gonna deal with his gambling addiction.
Naked, or back in TNA, the beautiful people playing strip poker.
Right.
You know they're not going to get fucking naked. They can't get fucking naked. So it's all just a big fucking jerk off tease, waste of our fucking
Yeah,
time.
I captured 40 minutes of that crazy bitch, Kevin Owens
match, which we'll get into.
For those unaware, this
greater
Cobra
detail
crazy
when we
lady,
get
she's like a
there.
crackhead, went
But,
nuts
you know,
saying
it
the
was
N-word every
Netflix, the
2
dawn of
minutes
this
and
new era.
talking about getting
Then
AR'd by her
just kinda
daddy
went
and oh, it was
asleep after
wild.
about 3 weeks to a month.
Yep.
The last month we're like, what the fuck is this? This fucking sucks. It's
Oh,
lame
man.
and shitty. Where's The Rock? Where's the real road to WrestleMania? Now, finally, after like a month of hibernation, business has picked back up again. But then Cena's not on Raw the following
Yeah,
night.
my brother-in-law was a
And it's
was
like,
a
okay,
wrestler.
we now have
He
to
was a
wait
professional
2 more
wrestler.
weeks
But he was the
to
guy
get
that was like,
John's
they call him a
word on
jobber.
what's going on, which I
So
guess
my
it's like
brother-in-law
you
was
get
that guy that like, he was the guy that
but
would
when
wrestle the
the
famous
did
wrestlers
not
and
pay
lose.
off right
And he
away.
was the guy that would take the
And
head,
getting this
the
going,
chair to the head, you
how much
know, and
longer
they'd
do we
throw
have
him into
till
tables
WrestleMania?
that
It's
would
like
break
a
and
month
shit.
left,
Like he would
right?
do
2
anything.
weeks left, and
This-
we're killing
And
this week.
This is what killed me about
long
wrestling.
term,
This is
that's
one
not a
of the
good
major reasons why I
strategy
stopped following
because you
it.
can't keep that up. You
WWE
wreck your
fills up
body.
your expectations. It gives you this giant feeling of hype and anticipation, and then it's like, it's still coming. It's still coming. It's still coming. When is it going to arrive?
Well,
And then
that's Triple H's booking style. Is you got to be patient. You got to be real patient. It's going to be real boring and a slow build.
Queen Cobra
Trust the
now,
long-term plan.
NAL.
But
And
it's like, but we're
I'm gonna
still
check. They
gonna
probably
make
deleted
sure,
her
like, we're
YouTube channel
fucking
for her
starving
racist
in the
rant
fucking
last night.
wilderness.
I don't
Can
know.
there be something good that happens?
Let me check.
Anyway, let's get into elimination.
yes, let's do it.
We're gonna power through a lot of this stuff, guys, because we want to get to Grill Phil. We want to Real Phil about the bisexual woman that's owning him at life
So-
or something.
So a few quick things about tonight. All right. So
Yes.
number
Yeah,
one,
Queen
Forgot
Cobra
the
Nail.
shill
She's still got a
and
channel.
grift,
the
Phil.
shill and grift.
What
We have
am
to
I
get to it.
doing?
So,
Yeah.
ladies and gentlemen, we have, as we spoke about previously, WWE Topps Chrome trading cards.
Jesus,
7
everything this
packs
guy
of 4
likes
cards
for
each.
children
We
or
talked about
what?
this
Wrestling
could I
cards?
get my
Really?
hands on them? Well,
Those
like
are for
this.
8-year-olds.
30 bucks for this tiny box,
loser.
by the way, which is ridiculous. Like back in the day, 30 bucks would buy you like probably like 100 cards. Now you get like 20. Okay. So here it is. And we're going to do it. There are 7 packs inside. For every 150 bucks that we raise on tonight's show,
my
I will
God.
open a pack live.
Oh,
We'll
what
see.
a, what
Can we
a
get
great...
the rare chase cards? Can we get the 1 out of 1 autographed Cody Rhodes card worth $50,000?
I swear everything that Phil likes is for 8-year-olds. He likes wrestling. He likes children's video games. He's basically a 40-year-old child.
You're
$50,000.
No, Phil's gonna pull the 50G card. You know, with this piece of shit's luck, he's got 10 luck stat.
Yes.
He's gonna pull the $50,000 fucking Cody or CM Punk card.
Yeah, what a great reward for the audience. Phil's gonna like open cards full of like sweaty, muscular men. And that's not gay at all, right?
And then the whole fucking detractor chat's gonna explode and seethe in rage. Phil, is this not a healthier gambling addiction for you than giving your whole paycheck to Scopely?
I don't know if there is a healthy gambling addiction, but certainly it's probably
Well,
a
at least you're getting something tangible. And
Right.
it's giving it directly to WWE instead of to Scopely.
it ties into our show. It ties into our content. It gives the viewer something exciting to look forward to.
This is an
And,
improvement for him.
There is one bummer
Well,
though.
I mean,
There-
like, who
He
really
spends
gives a shit
tens
about
of
the
thousands
viewer?
of
It's
dollars
the
on a
viewer.
mobile children's
You
wrestling
have
game.
your own
A
gotcha
loser.
experience. You get to see the random loot. You have an investment. There can be a payoff, Phil. That's what it's really about. The rewards.
Yeah, it's
are
pretty
for Phil
bad.
And for me, they're
That's
not
right.
for you.
That's right. That's
the
how it works.
peasants At home. Now let's get some subs. Let's
There you
get
go.
some
Jim Bob with
donations.
5. We got a donation.
Lord Phil.
Anyone remember WoW
Let's do
Wrestling?
some
Women of
shout-outs,
Wrestling.
however. Here's the
Yeah,
one problem.
and I
that we're
remember
gonna have
Glow,
with this,
too. There
because
was
actually,
WoW
I
and
don't know if
Glow.
you've heard about this.
Thank you, Jim
PPP.
Bob. Very
This
kind
actually
of
has
you.
gotten worse since you've been gone. These fucking gifted subs that are bullshit. It's happening to everyone now.
20 some bomb isn't real from
Yeah.
Jimmy Longlegs.
Exactly. There's no way to tell until you see days later. Like 2 days, YouTube will clear, and then you'll get to see if stuff's real or not. And this has been happening not just to me. This has been happening to all the lolcow shows have been affected by this.
It's
They're
not
all getting
happening to
hundreds
me.
of fake subs, and no one knows what anything is real.
It's not
So-
happening to me. It's only happening to losers like
Everything
Phil.
on Kick is 100% real. Super chats are 100% real. Tips are 100% real. So all that stuff we can 100% trust.
Somebody called Lost and Hollow asking PPP on speed. He's so sweaty and won't stop moving. No, that's obesity and autism combo, bro. I swear, bro. I'm not fucking whoa, bro.
Obesity
Let's
and
go, let's
autism
go.
combo.
All right.
Real contributions?
Yeah,
Or
we-
is this
we-
opening this pack.
We absolutely have some real contributions. We start off tonight with a $5 tip from Slayer. He's like, can't wait to watch the show later. I want to say for Elimination Chamber, Namibia being the one behind the attack on Jade Cargill was already predicted, but it's good Bianca
Oh,
Belair
this
won
wrestling
the
stuff
match.
is brutal, man.
Who the hell's Namibia?
Wrestling is brutal
I
to
guess it's an
listen
NXT
to.
thing
I don't like
that I don't
watching
really
wrestling.
understand.
Why do I want to watch
I was
somebody
happy-
talk about it? It's brutal.
Yeah, right. She
Brutal.
said something about Io Sky, but I don't want to talk about that yet because that's kind
Phil
of a
is a
lost word.
game
We're going to talk
goof.
about that in a little
Yeah.
bit. But he says he was happy for Io Sky. He likes Kevin Owens. He did like the Kevin Owens Sami Zayn match.
I haven't
He
heard
says,
anything
let's see
about
here,
that, Kevin. All
Sami
that. I don't
Zayn
know.
is actually
Probably
off
just
TV
rumors.
because he is in real life a Muslim and currently is celebrating, I guess, the fasting
Oh, that's
season.
nice.
Yeah.
Still wrestle doing Ramadan. So you
I
still
work at a
there
glue
doing
factory.
Ramadan,
What?
Phil?
It's an extended period of
Wrestling
fasting where
is
I guess
gay.
if you're
Yeah.
Muslim, you can only eat for a very short
Fasting.
period of time.
Fasting.
Like maybe ladies wrestling's okay if they have the skimpy outfits on, but who wants to watch a bunch of sweaty men fucking fondle and wrestle each other, right?
Meal after the sun goes down.
Okay.
Now,
This is
I may not
this
know
is like
anything
disgusting a
about
literal
fasting as a
soap
person in
opera. Yeah.
calories that's morbidly obese.
Right.
But I'm pretty sure fasting means no fucking food.
No
It
eating at
doesn't
all.
mean
Right.
2 giant fucking meals to begin and end the fucking.
All right, we're 20 minutes in and no Grill Phil. They're going to talk about wrestling for an hour. I'm sorry. I'm going to check out. I can't listen to this for another hour waiting for the. I will. Maybe I'll cover that tomorrow before I leave for the cabin. I'll just go, later tonight. I'll go back when they actually start talking about the good stuff, right? The only good part about Phil's obsession with wrestling is spoiling the results of matches. He rages. Phil is a progressive pillow biter. Yeah. Dave says, even a great creator like PPP can't save DSP. You're right. No, I think he can. But only if DSP actually listens to Triple P, and he's not going to listen to him. Right? David Wilcock loves wrestling. Somebody said fasting, try it, Triple P. Oh, burn, right? Dave with another one. I'm sorry, I thought that was another one. Even a great orator like PPP can't save DSP, or was that? I read it wrong the first time, so I'm glad I read it again. There you go. I enjoyed wrestling when I was a kid. So did I, but as soon as WWF made that announcement that it's fake, I felt betrayed and I never watched it again. I was like, oh, Hulk Hogan's fake. They're all fake. They just, that realization, like, oh man, I wasted so many hours on Saturday of my life watching this shit, and it was all pre-planned and acted out. It wasn't real. I was a little kid at the time. I thought it was real. Close enough the first time, says Dave. Yeah. So, listen, I appreciate all the support. I don't know if I will be back this weekend, but I may. For those unaware, I have a cabin in the Pocono Mountains of Pennsylvania, and sometimes the internet there is really good, and sometimes it's really shit, and I never know. And apparently the weather has a lot to do with it. When it's extremely cold, the bandwidth goes down. When it's windy, the bandwidth goes down. If it's raining, the bandwidth goes down. And God forbid, if it's snow and ice, the bandwidth goes way down. So I never know if I'm going to be able to even, stream at the cabin. But we do have a wackadoo of the week to get through. So, and I'd like to do that this week rather than next week. And besides, like Darkside Phil, I'm short on my goals this week, my financial goals. And then I must hit the goal for this week. No. So comments or questions for me, please put them in all capital letters. And also, I want to get off of here and go check on the damage to my house. I'm sure my wife is very upset and worried and wants me to go outside and figure it out and what's going on. And I want to set her mind at ease, right? The only wrestling I watch is the midgets. Yeah, that seems like that would be more entertaining, right? Yes, you must be under weather attacks, just like Wilcock. Exactly. No, it really does happen at the cabin. Sometimes the internet is great there, and I've done streams from there. Usually I could tell. I just do a speed test, and sometimes I think it's like the router's frozen solid and the computer's frozen solid. By the way, I have an iMac, an older Intel iMac at the cabin. And apparently iMacs, because of all that aluminum, they don't work right when they were frozen. So when I get there, the screen's all jumping and shit. But once the iMac warms up with the wood stove going, it'll work, right? What happened to my house, says C? A small tree on the front of my house fell over, and the roots are up in the air, and the tree's against my house. So I have to go check out and see what happened. Apparently, I'm under weather attack, right? Steve is detractor. Well, there's worse things in life to be. You know what's worse than being a Darkside Phil detractor? A supporter, or even worse, Darkside Phil. It would be much worse being Darkside Phil than being a Darkside Phil detractor, right? By and large, I could say this, and I haven't been here too long, but my estimation is that the detractors are powerful, creative, fun, artistic people who love shitting all over this moron. And Darkside Phil's supporters are a bunch of more like complete and total morons like Phil. So I'd much rather be, in the detractor camp with the cool people, because the supporters are just total geek nerd losers, incel losers. Detractors are good citizens. Yeah, I agree. All right, so listen, we have done our due diligence. We didn't quite hit our goal, but if I count those gifted subs and the kick, we kind of hit our goal. I'm good. No, I didn't hear the tree fall at all. I don't know when it fell. I don't know. I got to go check it out right now. So I want to thank each and every one of you for joining us. We want to thank you, kind and generous benefactors. I forgot to check in with the PayPal for those unaware. Besides super chats and gifted subs and gifted memberships and super stickers, super thanks, you can also buy me a coffee, or you can send a PayPal pledge to truthseekershow@gmail.com. Just be sure and include a note if you send a PayPal pledge, and add your user ID and let me know anything you want me to read, and I will read it. So, I checked in with the PayPal, none of those to read. And buy me a coffee, there's no new buy me a coffee. So for those unaware, we read every single super chat. If you buy me a coffee, we call that out. If you become a member during the live broadcast, we thank you and give you a big shout out and a thank you. If you give subs over on Kick or become a subscriber over on Kick, we give you a big shout out and a thank you. And my thanks to all of you for your kindness, generosity, and support. And yes, praise the cash, right? Yeah, I don't think it's too bad, because if it would have come through the window, man. It's only 10 feet from the front windows, and I have these big, huge bow windows that are like 8 foot wide, and like they're the whole front of the house is windows. So, these things happen. It could be much worse. I'm sure it's not too bad, but I want to go and survey the damage, right? I will be going to the cabin tomorrow night. And I got to tell you, everybody that knows me knows I love that cabin. I've been building it with my own 2 hands for 5 years now. It's still not done. I'm building one more addition out the back. That's going to be the first time I ever build a 2-story building in my life, but I'm doing it because we want that extra space. I'm going to put a studio upstairs and a big living room, hopefully with a stone fireplace right in the middle. We'll see how that goes this spring, summer, and fall. In the winter, I don't do much there. I used to go and do inside work, but there's no inside work left. Maybe a little bit of trim or moldings or some other little stuff. There's nothing to keep me busy all weekend inside. And in the winter, it gets 0 there. You don't want to be working. You can be, but I don't want to be working outside in 0 or 20 or 10 degree weather. So while there was work to be done inside, I used to go more. But now during the winter, honestly, I feel kind of guilty going there by myself. When I had work to do, I didn't mind. I'd go by myself. My wife would take care of the kids. I'd get walls put up or insulation or wiring done or something, and I'd feel good about it. But just going there and sitting there and inside and relaxing, it feels like a vacation, right? And I feel guilty doing that without my kids. My kids don't want to go there. They think it's too cold, and my wife doesn't really want to go, right? Make a goal, and if you achieve it, do a 24-hour stream from the cabin. Well, I can only stream for 6 hours at a time due to my software limitations, right? You are not doing gay stuff at the cabin like George's girlfriend's father was on Seinfeld. No. There's no gay stuff at the cabin. It's fine. All right, so we've done our due diligence. I thank you, kind and generous Patreon supporters, YouTube channel members, Kick subscribers, people buying me a coffee, PayPal pledgers, super chatters, super stickers, super thanks. Hey, did you know that? Even if you're catching a replay and you're not watching a live show, you can still throw a couple bucks in our hat. Just hit that thanks button. I reply to every super thanks and thank those people personally. So be sure to, if you're feeling generous, we just had a power failure earlier and the lights just flickered. I'm going to end the stream before anything else happens. We're under CIA attack. We're definitely under CIA attack. It must be. Yeah. So that's all I got for you, friends. Until next time, my name is Stephen Cambian. Good night, and God bless all of you.
Dark corners of the night, secrets hidden from the light. Whispers turn to screams, shattering all control your dreams. Eyes wide open now, truth you can't disavow. Echoes through the halls, crashing all your walls. Truth seekers, exposing the truth. Truth seekers, coming for you. Uncover the lies, open your eyes. Shadows try to hide, no place for them to bide. Light will pierce you through, reveal what is true.